Chapter 775. If it wasn't for the fact that it was not the right time, those people would have grabbed Sima Yue and asked her how she could teleport and control the wave movement without Bian Shuiping noticing. Follow the dream, said the little dog. Visit. Copy URL access. Sima Yue, you kill my master. A woman attacked Sima Yue. Unfortunately, her strength was only on par with Sima Yue. Unfortunately, her combat strength was far inferior, and her intelligence was even worse. Sima Yue didn't even need to attack her personally. She just needed to use her spiritual energy to increase the number of evil spirits around her. The woman was surrounded by evil spirits. Thinking that they would run into her body, she screamed in fright and waved the long sword made of spiritual energy around randomly. How dare you kill the people in my white cloud cave? When we go back, we'll definitely ask our masters to punish you. One of the girls shouted at Sima Yue. Why? Are you reminding me not to let you leave today? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows and looked at them mockingly. A bunch of people who only knew how to talk about their sections. Looking at them, he didn't feel good at all. Should he just kill them right here and now? Little friend, which flame did you attack just now? The younger ones were already having a hard time. If this continued, many of them would probably be injured by the inexhaustible evil spirits. Sima Yue was not so kind this time. She said, I don't know how I found that flame. Little friend, please help us. Another person pleaded while killing the evil spirits. I'm afraid of being ambushed. Sima Yue said, I almost lost my life just now. If I get ambushed again, who knows if I can still escape. Don't worry, little friend. We'll definitely protect you. Young friend, I know that you're not the type to leave me in the lurch. Everyone's lives are in your hands. In the future, we will definitely remember your kindness in saving our lives. Xiao Yi said in a sincere tone. Sima Yue glanced at Xiao Yi. This guy really knew how to talk. This was what she wanted, but she was too embarrassed to say it out loud. City Lord Xiao is right. We will remember this little friend's kindness. Wang Shi also said. Sima Yue saw that he had spoken, so she didn't want to be pretentious anymore. He wanted to save her just now, so it wasn't good for her to be pretentious. I'll try and see if I can find it, but I can't guarantee that I'll find it. Yue said. Little friend, just go. Xiao Yi said Yue's voice. Sima Yue hugged Little Roar and walked one round around the valley. To walk in the midst of so many corpses, it required a lot of courage. As the smells that the smell, that. Especially after being burned by the flames, the smell's odor was unbearable. She didn't know how Little Roar's nose, which was more sensitive than a dog's, was able to endure this kind of environment. However, she was able to use his dog's nose to find the flame's location. When Sima Yue condensed her fire attribute spirit energy and prepared to attack, one of the ghost clansmen in the spirit pagoda suddenly said, if she uses her lightning attribute spirit energy to attack, she will be able to disintegrate them directly. Little Spirit sensed for a moment. After confirming that he wasn't lying, he told Sima Yue about this. Sima Yue was stunned for a moment. She dispersed her fire attribute spirit energy and condensed her lightning attribute spirit energy to attack the flame. In order to increase the effect, she even mixed in a little purple top grade sky lightning. When the lightning landed on the flames, it traveled along the flames and into the corpses below. After making a circle around the corpses, it was transmitted out. Wherever the lightning passed through, the flames would slowly become smaller and eventually extinguish. When the flames disappeared, the evil spirits also disappeared along with them. Some people were still fighting with the evil spirits. In the end, just as they released their spirit energy, the target disappeared and the spirit energy almost hurt the people in front of them. Sima Yue looked at the charred valley and sighed in her heart. There! Suddenly, someone shouted. Everyone followed his gaze and saw a group of ghost clan members standing on a cliff far away. Sima Yue looked over and saw Di Zhou in the middle. The two of them looked at each other and had a strange feeling in their hearts. Behind him, she saw the person who took the 100 Ghost banner to kill her. This meant that the 100 Ghost banner was with these people. Sima Yue wanted to fly over and kill these people, then snatch the 100 Ghost banner. However, before she could move, the figures of these people slowly faded away. At this moment, the ghost master beside Di suddenly shot out an aura. Wang Shi and the rest saw it and condensed their spirit energy to attack it. They did not know what that aura was, but it went straight through their spirit energy and headed straight for Sima Yue. In an instant, it entered her body. Sima Yue felt as if her body had fallen into a 10,000-year-old ice cellar. The aura quickly spread through her body and froze her body. She only felt that her body was stiff, and she could not use her spirit energy. She fell down involuntarily. Yue! Cho Xiaotian was shocked and flew over to catch her. Yue, are you okay? Sima Yue blinked at him, then closed her eyes and fainted. The ghost master saw that she fainted and was shocked. He wanted to do something, but because he was already on his way back, he had no choice but to disappear from the top of the mountain. Yue, wake up! Cho Xiaotian carried Sima Yue and landed on the cliff. He anxiously called out her name. Let me take a look. Wang Shi came over and grabbed Yue's hand. He wanted to check on her condition, but he realized that his spirit energy could not enter her body at all. It was blocked by a force. Bring her back first. We will go to the Rhinoceros Valley to check on the situation there. If it is good, we will bring her master back. Wang Shi ordered. Yes, sect leader. Wang Shi opened a space tunnel. Cho Xiaotian carried Sima Yue and went in. Those juniors are tired after this battle. Why don't we let them go back to rest and recuperate? Let's go there and take a look. Wang Shi said to the elders. Okay. Those juniors were worried when they heard that Wang Shi wanted to go there. However, when they heard that there was no need to go, they heaved a sigh of relief. One by one, they went back through the space tunnel. Cho Xiaotian brought Sima Yue back to the Chiu family. The Chiu sisters were waiting for everyone in the courtyard. When they saw that Sima Yue was carried back, they ran over and asked, What happened to young Master Sima? He fainted. Is there a room here? Cho Xiaotian asked. Yes. This way, Chiu Rue said as she opened the door to a bedroom. Cho Xiaotian carried Sima Yue and walked over. He placed her on the bed. The bed was frozen in an instant. Chapter 776. Why is there a black aura around her? Chiruo was shocked to see Sima Yue's appearance. She was just attacked by the ghost clan. Cho Xiaotian said. Attacked? How is she now? Chiu Rue exclaimed. There was no need to answer this question. Her body was surrounded by black gas, and her bed was frozen into ice. Her current situation was self-evident. Cho Xiaotian looked at Sima Yue anxiously and worriedly. He looked outside from time to time, wondering why Su Jin hadn't arrived yet. On the Rhinoceros Valley's side, Su Jin and the others were fighting with the spirit beasts. The situation here was much more serious than the Red Cloud Ridge. Many people were riddled with injuries from the spirit beasts. Fortunately, Wang Shi and the others had come over, relieving them of a lot of pressure. The situation of the battle was slowly developing in a good direction. Su Jin killed the spirit beast in front of him. We saw Wang Shi and the others coming over. He looked around but didn't find them. He flew to Wang Shi's side and asked, Where's Yue? I was looking for you. Those people from the ghost race left the mortal realm. Before they left, they injected an unknown aura into little friend's body, causing her to fall unconscious. I've already asked Xiao Tian to send her back. Go back and take a look at her. Wang Shi said. When Su Jin heard that Sima Yue was seriously injured and unconscious, he couldn't help but inform one of the academy's teachers. He took out some things and gave them to the other party before breaking through the void and returning. The teacher distributed the things in his hands to the people of the academy. He took out one of them and poured his spirit energy into it. Then, he threw it towards the place where there were many spirit beasts. This was Fatty Chu's improved version of the metal ball. Its power was much greater than before, and its power would vary according to the level of spiritual energy injected into it. Boom! The iron ball exploded on the ground, blowing up the skin of the surrounding spirit beasts. Everyone present was shocked. Damn, this thing is so useful. That brat Su Jin actually only took it out now. The teacher was also a straightforward guy. Seeing the power he had caused, he slapped his thigh and shouted, "Let me try too." When the other teacher saw this, he injected spirit energy into the iron ball in his hand and threw it at the spirit beast. The people not far away saw the iron ball fall and quickly flew away. They watched as the iron ball fell to the ground and exploded into beautiful red flowers. F***, what is this thing? Such power! It doesn't look like an ordinary spirit artifact. Chi-Wei exclaimed, "Ha ha ha, this thing is great to use. Just a little bit of spiritual energy can release such great power." The teacher laughed. He liked this thing very much. "Here, give me some more. Let me try too." The other teachers also threw out the spirit beasts in their hands. The successive explosions caused the spirit beasts to suffer heavy losses. The others were stunned by the series of actions of the teachers of the heavenly sect. Someone immediately scolded, "You old bastards, you obviously have such a good thing, but you didn't use it earlier. You didn't ask us to use it, did you?" A teacher retorted, "Aren't we also fighting like you? It's not like I'm slacking off. Why are you so noisy? Do you want to have a taste of it? Then why are you willing to use it now? Since he had already planned this, why didn't he take it out earlier? I've worked myself to death for so long, and I was almost bitten in the butt by a spirit beast. Ha ha, I almost got bitten. If only I really got bitten. That way, you won't have the energy to complain. I don't care. Give me one of your balls to try. Go away. This is my heavenly sex thing. Are you going to give it or not? If you don't, I'll tell everyone about how you were entangled by a girl outside your school. That girl is... Shut up for me." An iron ball flew towards that person's mouth and was caught by him. Chi-Wei and the others thought that the two were going to quarrel, but in the end, the scene changed. The two were clearly bad friends. That person received the iron ball and was very happy. He immediately poured spiritual energy into it and threw it towards the ground. "Ha ha, this thing is really useful. Old man, give me a few more." He laughed loudly. "Go away. This is something unique to my heavenly sect. If you want it, 10,000 middle-grade crystals for one." The teacher said, "The thing I helped you steal last time was worth 100,000. 5 iron balls flew over, accompanied by a voice gnashing teeth. Iron balls have increased in price. 20,000 for one." That person received the iron ball and didn't mention the thing he stole. He went to fight the spirit beasts in satisfaction. Just like this, the originally cruel battle was turned into an incomparably joyous one. With the help of the small iron balls, the battle became much easier. The originally difficult battle quickly ended. At this time, everyone finally had the time to think about that little thing. It was so powerful and only needed a bit of spiritual energy. If they could bring some to the sect. We'll go back and see how Yue is doing." The teacher condensed spiritual energy and burned the blood off his body, making him feel refreshed. Seeing old Su's anxious appearance, it seems to be a bit serious. If they weren't worried about Sima Yue's situation, how could they take out so many small iron balls to end the battle early? They did this so that they could go back early. Chi-Wei was not far away. When he heard their words, he ran over and asked, "What happened? Is my boss injured?" The teacher looked at him strangely. Blue Blade came over and bowed to the two teachers, saying, "Chi-Wei has recognized Yue as his boss. May I ask, did something happen to Yue?" "Just now, sect leader Wang told old Su that Yue was hit by an unknown aura from the ghost race and fell unconscious." One of the teachers said. "What?" Chi-Wei cried out and urged, "Then let's hurry back and take a look." Those teachers were also worried about Sima Yue's situation and opened a space tunnel to return. She led the people from Zhengyang's sect and did not fall behind. They quickly returned. When Chi-Wei and the others reached the Chiu family, they immediately ran to see Sima Yue. However, they didn't expect that when they entered the courtyard, they would see Su Jin carrying the unconscious Sima Yue out of the house. The black aura around Sima Yue's body was even thicker than before, as if it was going to swallow her whole. "What's wrong, old Su?" Su Jin hugged Sima Yue and used his spirit energy to prevent the ghost aura from entering his body. When he saw the teachers return, he said, "It's good that you're back. I'll have to trouble you to take care of the matters here. Yo-Yue's situation is very strange. I can't do anything, so I'll have to bring her back to old Yuan to try. He actually said that he couldn't do anything. Then how serious was her situation? All right, you can go back first. I'll take care of the situation here and then bring the children from Mushue City back. Su Jin nodded at him. He broke through space and carried Sima Yuan. Chapter 777. Everyone present looked at Sima Yue and Su Jin's expression and guessed that she probably wouldn't be able to survive. What kind of person was Su Jin? Don't look at how he was just a teacher of the heavenly sect. His strength was recognized by the entire continent. Even he was helpless. Sima Yu's situation was obvious. Qi Wei's eyes reddened when he saw Sima Yue in such a state. Although they hadn't been together for a long time, she had taken good care of him. He had only recognized her as his boss for a short while, and she was about to be gone. Where would he find such a powerful boss in the future? Don't be sad, Zhoulan said. Maybe she'll be fine. Even her master can't do anything. Her situation. Qi Wei felt terrible and couldn't continue. The heavenly sect is a place filled with hidden dragons and crouching tigers. Perhaps someone else has a way. Blue Blade said, It's too early for you to be sad. I want to go to Heavenly City. Qi Wei said, What? Blue Blade and the others stared at him in shock. This guy rarely went anywhere alone, but he was willing to go there just because of someone he had not known for long. I'm worried about the boss's situation. I want to see it for myself. Qi Wei said, But the Qi family's competition is about to start. You have to rush back to participate in the written test. If you go now, you might not make it in time. Yu Qing reminded. That's right. If you dare to be absent, I'm afraid those brothers of yours will not forgive you. Xian Ming Lang also said, I don't care anymore. Qi Wei clenched his fists. Boss has saved us so many times. If it weren't for him, we would have been dead long ago. Now that her condition is uncertain, I can't just leave like that. If she is really fine, then I will rush back to participate in the competition. If there's really something I might be able to help, then I'll go with you. Blue Blade said, You're right. Although we haven't known each other for a long time, we've been through several life and death situations. We can't just go back like this. I'll go back and talk to Master. You should agree. If all of you want to go, then let's all go. Zhoulan said, All right, I'll go talk to Master. Blue Blade went to look for Master Blue Blade. The sect didn't like to have too many relationships with outsiders. He thought that it would take some effort to persuade him, but he didn't expect his master to agree immediately. All of you are indebted to her. You should go and see how she is doing. However, you have to remember the rules of the sect. You cannot do anything against the rules. Master Blue Blade said. He had a good impression of Sima Yue. Yes, Master. Blue Blade replied. Blue Blade, while you're there, ask around about that little metal ball. Master Purple Blade said. Yes. Blue Blade understood the power of the small metal ball. Many people were curious about it today, so it was not unreasonable for the sect to want to know more about it. If the sect could obtain some of these things, it would be a good thing for the sect. After today's events, the news of the small metal ball would spread very quickly. There was no need for the younger generation to do anything, because all they had to do was to deal with the corpses in Bright Red Mountain Peak. Then, the various sects would divide their forces and send people to guard it. Blue Blade and the others returned to Mushue City first. Thinking about how Sima Yue had said that her companions were at Mushue River, they went to look for them. Fatty Chu and the others were anxiously waiting for news from Bright Red Mountain Peak. After hearing that the barrier had been lifted, they tried to contact Sima Yue, but they couldn't. At that time, Sima Yue was inside the barrier. The barrier had an isolation effect, so she couldn't contact them. Later on, she went to fight again. She felt the movement in her spirit pagoda, but she didn't have time to pay attention to it. Later on, she completely fainted. When they heard the waiter say that someone was looking for them, they were wondering who it was. When they went down and saw that it was a stranger, they were puzzled. I am Wei Ziqi. May I ask who you are? Wei Ziqi went down first and asked when he saw this person. You are Wei Ziqi. Qi Wei went up and grabbed his hand, saying, Do you know which city could directly go to Tianfu City? You are? Wei Ziqi looked at him suspiciously. Blue Blade cupped his hands towards Wei Ziqi, saying, "We are Yu Yu's friends. She saved us when we were at Bright Red Mountain Peak. You are Blue Blade and the others from the Heroic Sword sect, right? We have already heard about how you spread the news." Wei Ziqi said, "If you want to go to Tianfu City, you have to go to Great City first. There's a teleportation array there that leads directly to Tianfu City." At this time, the others came down as well. When they saw Wei Ziqi talking to Blue Blade and the others, they walked over to understand the situation. "Why are you in such a hurry to go to Tianfu City? Is something the matter?" Sima Yuran asked. "Yu Yu is injured. We want to go and take a look." Blue Blade said, "We heard that you are family and companions, so we came to inform you." When everyone heard that Sima Yue was injured, their expressions changed. "Fifth Bro is injured? Yu Yu is injured? Where is she now? How did Fifth Bro get injured?" When she was fighting with the Ghost Clan, an aura from their attacks entered her body, and she fainted. Blue Blade said, "How is she now?" Wei Ziqi asked. "She has already been sent to Heavenly Sect." Wei Ziqi and the others' faces turned pale. Only Fatty Chu didn't understand the twists and turns. "Isn't Teacher Sue there? Why does she have to go back to the sect?" he asked. Teacher Su Jin said that he couldn't do anything about it. He could only take her back to the sect. Yu Qing said, "Teacher Su is so powerful. How could he be so powerless?" Fatty Chu didn't finish speaking before he was stunned. "You're saying that Yu Yu's situation is very bad? We don't know how she's right now." Blue Blade said, "That's why we want to go to Tianfu City to take a look. We should hurry back as well." Sima Yuming said, "Yu Qi, go check out immediately." "Okay." Sima Yuqi nodded and went to find a shopkeeper to check out. "Since you want to go back as well, let's go together," Blue Blade said. Sima Yuming nodded and let everyone go upstairs to pack their things. Because their hearts were heavy, nobody said anything and silently went back to their rooms. However, after they checked out, they didn't go to the teleportation array. Instead, they went outside the city. "Aren't we going to Great City?" Xian Ming Lang asked. "It's too troublesome to go to the teleportation array. We'll go back directly," Wei Ziqi said. "Go back directly? Didn't you just say that there was no teleportation array nearby?" Zhoulan swallowed her words when she saw Sima Yulin's actions. Another array master. Chapter 778. Sima Yulin forced himself to calm down and set up the array. He did not want to be distracted by the news, but he couldn't control his heart. His mind was filled with Yue being injured and Su Jin being helpless, so he couldn't finish setting up the array. Sima Yuran walked over and patted him on the shoulder, saying, "Everyone is worried. If you can't set up the teleportation array, we won't be able to go back." Sima Yulin nodded, took a deep breath, and continued to set up the array. "He's so young. We're very far from Tianfu City, right? Can he set up a long-distance array?" Xian Minglang asked. "No problem," Wei Ziqi said. "I thought that only Boss was a genius array master. Who would have thought that he was one as well?" Chi Wei looked at Sima Yulin with admiration. "What he's holding should be a half-completed formation, right?" Yu Qing asked. "That's right. This is a half-completed array that he and Yu created together. As long as we place the array stones in the predetermined positions, we will be able to reach Heavenly Sect City directly," Wei Ziqi explained. "This was originally prepared for us to return to the Academy after completing our mission. Array Masters are truly formidable." Chi Wei sighed again. This time, Sima Yulin finished setting up the array and got everyone to stand in the array. He activated the array and returned to Heavenly City. On the other side of the array was the courtyard of the Sima residence. When Sima Lai and the others heard the commotion in the courtyard, they all walked over. Sima Lai glanced around and discovered that Yue wasn't there. Instead, there were a few strangers. He furrowed his eyebrows and asked, "Where's Yue?" Yu and Teacher Su came back first. "We came back from different places, so we didn't come back together," Sima Yuran said. "Oh, and these are Grandpa. Let me introduce you. These are the disciples of sect in the central region. We met them outside. This time, he came to Tianfu City to do something, so he came with us." This is Blue Blade, this is Zhou Lan, this is Yu Qing, this is Qi Wei, and this is Xian Ming Lang. Sima Yuran said before Blue Blade and the others could speak, "This is my grandfather, Anilan, On Tiu, Bei Gong's younger brother, Bei Gong Hang." Blue Blade and the others bowed to them when Sima Yuran introduced them. "Grandpa, we'll take them to Memory Restaurant. First, since they are your friends, why don't they stay?" "Sima, don't bother," Blue Blade said. "Grandfather, they have their own things to do." Sima Yuran said, "Let's go out first and come back later." Blue Blade and the others cupped their hands towards Sima Lai and the others before leaving the Sima residence. "Grandfather, Anilan, on to you. We have to return to the sect to submit our mission. We'll take a few days off to come back." Sima Yuming left after speaking. Sima Lai saw that they were in a hurry and said, "Don't you guys feel that their actions are a little strange?" "I think so," Sang Muyu said. "Could something have happened?" Inlan didn't see Sima Yu and had a bad premonition. "Could it be that something happened to Yu? "I don't think so." Although their reactions are a little strange, they're not flustered. If something happened to Yu, how would they have the heart to come home? Sang Muyu smiled. "You're right." Sima Lai heard what they said and put down the doubts and worries in his heart. It was only after Sima Yulu and the others left the Sima residence that they let out a long sigh of relief. In order to not let Sima Lai worry, they tried their best to pretend that nothing was wrong. Now that they had left the house, the group of them rushed to the sect. "Brother Blue, you can't just enter the sect. I'll send you to Memory Restaurant first. If there's any news, we'll get them to inform you. You can look for them if you want to know." "Is Memory Restaurant your power?" Blue Blade asked. Why did he remember that Memory Restaurant was opened by Qin Mo? "You can say so." Sima Yuming said. "A friend opened it and gave it to Yue. Is that friend surnamed Qin?" Sima Yuming did not answer him, but changed the topic. "Please be careful when you reach Memory Restaurant, because my grandfather will go there from time to time to check on the situation. Before we confirm Yue's situation, we don't want him to know. That's why we ask you to help us hide it." Blue Blade saw his expression and knew that he had guessed correctly. He didn't think that Qin Mo would give Memory Restaurant to someone else. It seemed like Yue was just bluffing when she said that their relationship was not that good. "We got it. Don't worry," Qi Wei said. "If you know about Boss's situation, please let us know." Okay. After settling Blue Blade and the others down, they immediately rushed back to the sect and returned to the inner sect from outside. They did not return to their own dorms, but went directly to Su Jin's parting garden. They stood outside for a while before Xiao came out from the courtyard. "Senior Su, how's my fifth bro?" Sima Yuran asked. "Junior bro?" Su Xiao looked at them suspiciously. "Didn't he leave with you? Why didn't you come back together?" "You wouldn't come back?" Fatty Chu asked in surprise. Su Xiao shook his head. "Then, did your master come back?" Sima Yulin asked. "Master came back once, then left. He's not in parting garden now," Su Xiao said. "What happened? Did something happen to Junior Bro? What happened to Junior Bro? Is he back?" Xiao. Han Miao Shuang appeared behind everyone, hugging a wine jar. It was obvious that she had gone out to eat. "I don't know what happened either," Su Xiao said. "They just came and asked me how Junior Bro was doing. Then, they asked if Master was here. They haven't said what happened yet." Han Miao Shuang guessed that something big must have happened and kept the wine jar away, saying, "What happened?" Wei Ziqi saw them like this and knew that Sima Yue was not in parting garden at the moment. If they want to know how she was, they had to find Su Jin first. "It's like this." Su Xiao and Han Miao Shuang heard what happened and said, "After Master came back, he stayed in the house for a while before going back. It seemed like he came back to take something. Since he didn't bring Junior Bro back, it means that he hasn't recovered yet." "But where is Junior Bro now?" Su Xiao said. "If I knew earlier, I would have asked Master when he came back." "You didn't know that something had happened to Junior Bro at that time." Han Miao Shuang said, "We have to find Master now. Master should be with the principal." Kong Junshul came out, not looking sleepy. Chapter 779. The following is provided for you, 779. Please enjoy. Su Xiao saw the rare, serious Kong Junshul and asked, "How do you know? If even Master can't handle it, he will definitely look for Principal Yuan immediately." Kong Junshul said, "What's with that ghost aura? We weren't there at the time, so we didn't see it with our own eyes." Sima Yuran said, "But we heard them say that the ghost aura directly broke through the defenses of many experts before running into Yu Yu's body. We suspect that the ghost aura intentionally attacked Yu Yu." "You called on purpose?" Su Xiao frowned. "The things in the ghost realm are mysterious. If they really want to deal with Yu Yu, it will be even more troublesome. Since we know that Master is with the principal, let's go take a look." Han Miao Shuang said, "We'll go with you." Fatty Chu stepped forward and said. As such, the group of people went to the principal's house. This was already at the foot of the mountain. Before they could get close, they felt a force blocking them outside, not allowing them to take a single step closer to the small courtyard. "Look!" Su Xiao pointed above Yuan Xiao, Jie's roof, and said. Everyone looked over and saw a dark aura lingering above the roof. It wanted to break through, but was blocked by a spirit barrier. How can there be such a dense death aura? Kong Junshul was shocked by the death aura. He couldn't believe his eyes. Su Jin was currently in the house looking at the person who was trapped by the black aura, as well as Yuan Xiao Jie, who hadn't spoken at all. His heart sank. "Let them go back. It's no use coming now. They'll be scared," Yuan Xiao Jie said. Su Jin went out and saw the group of people who were blocked by the spirit barrier. He said, "If there's nothing, don't stand here. Go back." "Teacher Su, how's my fifth brother?" Sima Yuran asked. "I'm not sure yet," Su Jin said. "With old Yuan here, nothing will happen. You don't have to stay here. Go back." "You're not sure. Does this mean that even the principal has no way to save junior brother?" Kong Junshul asked. Su Jin was silent for a while before saying, "It's not that we don't have a way to save her. It's just that we don't know anything about her current situation. Not even Principal Yuan." "No," Su Jin said. "Old Yuan said that the ghost Shi must have hurt her, causing her body to automatically form a defense system, protecting her body and preventing us from entering. Even Principal Yuan couldn't do it? That won't do. But we're thinking of a way." Su Jin said, "All right, I've told you so much. You can all go back." But no one left. "Teacher Su, can you let us go in and see fifth bro?" Sima Yuming pleaded. "Can't you see the chaotic death aura inside the barrier?" Su Jin glared at him. "You guys are so weak. Even if you go in, you might be invaded by the ghost Chi. If you fall before she recovers, wouldn't that be even worse? Hurry up and go back." "Teacher Su, it's already very uncomfortable that we can't go in and take a look. Let us wait here," Sima Yula said. Su Jin glanced at them. They all had the same expression on their faces. He said, "Do as you wish." Then he went back. In the house, Yuan Xiao Jie and Gulang stood beside Sima Yuyu's bed. Their expressions were heavy. "What do you think?" Yuan Xiao Jie asked Gulang. Gulang took Sima Yuyu's pulse. When he heard what Yuan Xiao Jie said, he shook his head and said, "I can't tell." "You couldn't enter her body, either?" Yuan Xiao Jie asked. "If you can't enter, how can I?" Gulang said, "Although I didn't enter her body, I can roughly guess." "Then tell me why?" Su Jin came in and asked. "Her physique." Gulang said, "Her physique? Do you remember the Devil King who led the Devil Clan to attack the human realm?" Gulang asked. "Emosha? Of course we remember. He is the only Devil King who led the Devil Clan's army into the human realm in the past 1,000,000 years. Su Jin said, "What does this have to do with Yu Yu? I think that Yu Yu has the same physique as that person." Gulang said, "Same physique? Yu Yu isn't from the Devil Clan." Su Jin still defended his student. "Of course, she isn't from the Devil Clan." Gulang rolled his eyes at Su Jin. This guy's IQ would drop to 0 whenever something happened to someone he cared about. "But do you know what kind of physique Emosha has? Isn't he from the Devil Clan? What kind of physique could he have?" Su Jin's brain was still paralyzed. Emosha used to be a human too. It's just that he was from that place. Gulang pointed upwards. "He's a human? Then how did he become a Devil Clan?" "It's because of his physique." Gulang said. "What kind of physique is he?" "Divine Devil physique." Yuan Shao Jie said. I've heard of the divine devil physique. You know about it too? Su Jin looked at Yuan Shao Jie. How could he not know about it? The sacred light physique and the sacred darkness physique appearing on one person at the same time. That's the divine devil physique. Yuan Shao Jie said, back then, Emo Sha's parents were from that place, and the other was from the devil world. It's rumored that people with the divine devil physique couldn't escape the fate of exploding and dying. After he grew up, he used some unknown method to choose the sacred darkness physique and lived on. From then on, he became a member of the devil clan. Could it be that Yu is one too? Su Jin looked at his disciple with a conflicted expression. She wouldn't also explode and die, right? Shouldn't you be worried that she won't be able to get through this? Gulang looked at Su Jin speechlessly. Don't we have you and old Yuan? Su Jin still believed in them. If you can't solve it, then we might not be able to either. Gulang said, but after talking about the divine devil physique, you two don't look so anxious anymore. Su Jin said, Do you think that Yue also has a god-devil body? Su Jin asked. She's a human, we're pretty sure of that. If it was just a little bit of death chi, her body wouldn't be in such a state. None of the people we saw before who were injected with devil chi and death chi had such a situation. Gulang said, but now her body is automatically protecting itself, isolating itself from the outside world. This means that her body is not ordinary. The biggest possibility was the god-devil body, the fiend god bodies of humans and ghosts. Su Jin saw that the death aura on Sima Yoyue's body was getting thicker and thicker. He sighed and said, this means that Yoyue's father or mother is from the ghost clan. I don't know if she knows. I think you should know. Gulang felt some regret in his heart. For a fiend god body, once the two energies are not balanced, the body will explode. One way is to balance the power. In addition, refining the body is also one of the effective methods. I love my academy. Actively cooperate with this special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you. Chapter 780. The following is provided for you, 780. Please enjoy. They all knew that Yue was on the path of training her body. They thought that she was working so hard to make herself stronger, but they didn't think that she was doing it to survive. My poor little disciple, Sai. Why is it that out of so many people, you're the only one? Su Jin felt sad for his disciple. All right, stop being like that. I can see that you're still excited. Gulang couldn't stand him being like that and said, I'm just a little excited. The world is so big and there are so many spirit masters. There are also many children between humans and other races, but she has the body of a god and devil. Su Jin said proudly, I'm really worried about her, but since Mo Sha was able to survive, I believe that she can do it too. But no one knows how he did it. Yuan Shao Jie said, even a book they read didn't mention it, but then again, what will she do this time? Su Jin looked at Sima Yue worriedly. We can't do anything. Yuan Shao Jie said, her current situation should be because she got the death aura and activated the dark aura in her body. Her body is very sensitive right now. Maybe a little of our stuff will cause her body to break down, so we can't do anything right now. If we do anything, we'll be doing more harm than good. Sigh. Su Jin let out a long sigh. This was the first time he was helpless and could only watch from aside. This feeling was really uncomfortable, especially when this person was his favorite disciple. You don't have to worry too much. I think that even if the death aura explodes, she'll be fine. Yuan Shao Jie thought through Yoyue's situation. Really, think about it. Last time in the Dark Forest, how did she deal with the situation of being surrounded? Yuan Shao Jie reminded him. Dark Forest? Didn't she just use the heavenly tribulation? Su Jin said, she can't use the heavenly tribulation right now. She'll be struck until nothing is left. Yuan Shao Jie and Gulang shook their heads and sighed. Where did this guy's wisdom go? Why did he become an idiot when something happened to Yue? I didn't go. I know. Gulang said, Yue didn't advance at that time and didn't do anything that went against the heavenly Tao. How did you trigger the heavenly tribulation? Naturally, It's because there's something in her body that can trigger the heavenly tribulation. I remember now. Su Jin said, the ancient books once said that some people have a special lightning attribute in their bodies that can trigger heavenly tribulation. This means that Yue has this special lightning element in her body. Gulang nodded and said, if our guess is correct, if there's such a special factor in her body, even if she wants to suppress the light attribute in her body, it'll be impossible. Su Jin finally figured out. So what she needs now is time, not the intervention of others, Yuan Xiaojia said. Then let's wait. The people in the house were waiting, and the people outside the house were also waiting. Everyone hoped that she would recover quickly, but she remained unconscious for 7 days. In these 7 days, she felt like she was in an abyss of suffering. One moment, she was being roasted on a fire, and the next moment, she was thrown into 10,000-year-old ice. Every moment was torturous. Her divine sense had actually been awake all this time. She was awake as she watched the dark energy in her body being triggered by the ghostly aura. It became violent and restless, breaking through the barrier she had set up on the pagoda pool and swimming around in her body, trying to seize control of her body. Every meridian had the light attribute, so when the dark attribute attacked, the two sides began to fight, causing her body to be in pain. Although her body was in pain, and although she watched them fight, she couldn't do anything. It was as if her divine sense was imprisoned, and she could only watch from the side. You fight and I snatch. If you snatch this meridian, then I'll take the other one. If you control this meridian, then I'll snatch the other one. For a moment, her body was in a mess. Her body couldn't take so much energy and began to swell. Her body was like a ball, scaring the 3 people who were waiting at the side. They were all wondering if they should help. Fortunately, just as they felt that she was about to explode, her body slowly locked back, and the death energy that surrounded her body slowly retreated back into her body. Phew! The 3 of them heaved a sigh of relief. How many years had it been since they had felt so nervous? Sima Yue's divine sense also heaved a sigh of relief and stared at the purple-top grayed heavenly lightning that was wandering around her body. For so many days, this fellow had been watching from the side. When she couldn't take it anymore, it slowly came out of the lightning pool and chased the dark energy back into the dark pagoda pool, preventing her body from exploding. You stinky fellow, why did you have to wait until now to make a move? She curled her lips at the purple-top grayed heavenly lightning. The blurry figure of the purple-top grayed heavenly lightning protruded towards Sima Yue. She wasn't sure if it was because of the connection between their souls, but she actually felt that it was giving her the middle finger. Then, the protruding part retracted, and another protruded out. It was pouting its butt at her. Fuck! Sima Yue was so angry that her teeth itched, but she couldn't do anything about it. She could only watch as the figure jumped around, and when it was done, it returned to the pagoda pool. You rascal! I'll take care of you sooner or later. She gritted her teeth and threatened a certain someone. When all the spiritual energy returned to their respective pagoda pools, Sima Yue felt the shackles on her brain loosen, and her divine sense could move again. Pain. This was the only feeling she had right now. Yue, how are you feeling? She opened her eyes and saw the 3 heads above her. She blinked her eyes, and after a while, she said, It hurts. Amen. It's good that you know pain. Yuan Xiaojia said, The muscles and blood vessels in your body have all exploded. It would be weird if you didn't feel pain. Gulang said, Eat a pill. Su Jin took out a pill for her to eat. After eating the pill, she felt much better. Thank you, Master. She smiled weakly at Su Jin. Gulang took Sima Yue's pulse and said, Not bad. Although your breathing is still a bit messy, there's no big problem. Thank you, Teacher Gu. I made you all worry. Sima Yue wanted to smile, but when she pulled, her mouth hurt. Although your current situation is good, don't talk or move. Otherwise, you'll suffer if you feel pain. Gulang said, Could it be that the death aura that entered your body has been dealt with? Yuan Xiaojia asked. Sima Yue used her inner vision and shook her head slightly. That fellow was still floating above her dantian. We still have to think of a way to deal with it. If it activates the death aura in your body again, you'll be in danger in the future. Sujin said. Sima Yue was shocked. They already knew? I love my academy. Actively cooperate with this special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Please report it. Thank you, everyone. Chapter 781. Book title, Zhang Must Save Her. By just when Sima Yue was worried, Yuan Xiaojia's voice came from above her head, giving her strength to calm down. We understand your situation. Although the god-devil body is a bit surprising, it's nothing much. You already know. Sima Yue said, You don't think that I'm an alien? What does that have to do with anything? Su Jin said, Although your identity is a bit scary, I'll accept it after thinking about it. You're still my disciple. Master. Sima Yue was touched. She didn't expect that her physique and identity would be discovered without any warning. It would be a lie to say that she wasn't worried and afraid. Humans hated the ghost race and the devil race. If they knew about her situation, it was inevitable that they would want to get rid of her quickly. She didn't expect their reaction to be so unexpected. However, your physique is a bit of a headache. Su Jin said, but we'll find a way. You should focus on recuperating. Okay. Sima Yue nodded. Let's go out. I'll go talk to those fellows outside about the situation first. Forget about the visit. You'll be fine in 2 days anyway. Su Jin said. He went to the courtyard. The people who had been waiting for him for 7 days all looked at him expectantly when he came out again. She's already woken up. You guys go back first. She'll go back in 2 days when she's better. Su Jin said and went back. Sima Yulin and the others relaxed and prepared to go back to rest. They hadn't cultivated or slept for the past few days. Once they heard that Yue had recovered, they relaxed and looked a little tired. Su Jin went to Yuan Xiaojie's office. The two of them were already waiting for him inside. Other than them, there was also Fan Lei and Mao Sanquan. I'm going to find a solution, he said to them as soon as he entered. You going alone? Do you know where to go to find solution? Mao Sanquan looked at Su Jin in astonishment. Was this guy stupid? Wasn't a Mo Sha from there? Although so many years had passed, there would definitely be some clues that had been passed down. I want to look there. Su Jin said. You actually want to go there for her? Fan Lei said. Do you know what kind of place that is? Of course I know. Su Jin sat down on the chair and casually leaned back, returning to his usual self. Although the two of you are master and disciple, your relationship isn't that close. Is it worth it to go there for her? Although Mao Sanquan felt that it was necessary for the school to take care of the students, it wasn't like this. This was too dangerous. Old Go, what do you think? Fan Lei looked at Galang. I'll go with you. Galang didn't answer Fan Lei, but looked at Su Jin instead. It can't be. Are you too crazy? Mao Sanquan shouted. Perhaps. Mao Sanquan said, although I only took care of her for a short period of time, my feelings for her are not comparable to that of an ordinary student. Besides, she's very talented. We have to protect her. Even if she is... It's too dangerous for you to go there. Mao Sanquan was still somewhat disapproving. What is she? Fan Lei looked at them in confusion. What was there that he didn't know? Old Mao? She is the only person who has stepped into the pavilion of connecting heaven in so many years. Mao Sanquan said, Finish the stairway to heaven. How come I didn't know about this? Fan Lei shouted, Didn't those people directly send them to the inner court during the exam? Then why did Sima Yue stay in the outer court? Mao Sanquan snorted, Isn't it because of the outer court? On the day of the exam, Sima Yue didn't go to the pavilion of connecting heaven, so she wasn't sent over. Later on, she went to the pavilion of connecting heaven and finished the stairway to heaven. When we heard the news, you had already left with Little Tuesday. Fan Lei was so shocked by this news that he couldn't breathe. Then he pinched his thigh and said, There's actually someone who finished the stairway to heaven. This news is too shocking. She finished the stairway to heaven, but also has the body of a god and devil. She carries with her a fate and responsibility that we can't estimate. Galang sighed. Then, Fan Lei looked at Su Jin and Galang. Are you really planning to go there? It doesn't matter if she finished the stairway to heaven or not. She's still my disciple. Su Jin said, for her, I have to try. Gulang nodded in agreement. If there's a chance, we have to try. Since you want to go, then go. Yuan Xiao Jie said, when the ranking competition is over, I'll go too. When the time comes, we'll go together. You want to go too? Mao San Quan and Fan Lei shouted at the same time. After looking at each other, they said in unison, no. Why not? Yuan Xiao Jie didn't care about their protests and said, you've managed the school well these years. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, my ass. Mao San Quan wanted to curse. He'd never seen someone who could throw away their responsibilities like this. Anyway, you can't go together. 1 principal, 3 vice principals, and 4 stewards. The number of people in the academy had never exceeded that of the 2 principals. Have you ever considered my feelings? No, I want to take a vacation. Otherwise, I'll throw away my responsibilities and leave too. Old Mao has been tired these years. But the things we need to do are urgent. How about this? Old Fan won't go out these few years and will stay to help you. It's decided. Yuan Xiao Jie said. Right, how's the arrangement for the ranking? Other than pushing back the date according to your request, there's no other problem. Mao San Quan said. Those people are still stuffing people in here. If they can't find the eye of the earth, of course they'll continue. Mao San Quan's eyes flashed with impatience, saying, I say, can't you clean it up? Those flies are always flying around. I'm tired of dealing with them. Little Seven hasn't finished evolving yet. When she's done, you can clean it up. Yuan Xiao Jie said. Those powers didn't give up. Even though they knew there was no result, they still kept sending people. If the people they sent were useless, they sent their family members to the school. Did they really think there was hope just because they came? Old man, aren't you going to bring my disciple to participate in the competition? What, you're not going? Su Jin didn't care whether they fought or not. Anyway, it was never his turn to manage the school. I'll go there first and then rush back. If I can't make it back, Old Mao, you guys bring the students over. Yuan Xiao Jie said. What's so urgent that you have to rush over in such a short time? Gulang asked. I'm going to stop something. If I fail, I'm afraid the entire continent will tremble. From then on, there will be a reign of terror. Yuan Xiao Jie said faintly. Gentlemen's Alliance. Chapter 782. The following is provided for you. Chapter 782. One step too late. Please enjoy. Sima Yue laid on the bed, her eyes filled with gratitude. They thought that she was injured and her divine sense was exhausted, so she couldn't hear their conversation, so they didn't try to avoid her. Who would have thought that she had heard their conversation clearly? She reckoned that for someone with her strength, with such a heavy injury, her divine sense would be too weak to hear their conversation. But her divine sense was several times stronger than the average person, so this injury wouldn't affect her at all. She sighed, thinking of Su Jin and Gulang's feelings toward her. She hadn't known them for long, but they were so kind to her. A teacher for a day, a father for life. She hadn't done it yet, but they had. Master, teacher, go. She wanted to find them and tell them not to run around for her. And Mo Shao was by her side, so she would have a way. But she couldn't move now, so she couldn't find them. Let's talk about it when they come over. She thought to herself. She wanted to rest for a while, but she fell asleep. When she woke up again, a whole day had passed. Because of the pills and her physique, most of her injuries had healed. She got out of bed, and the courtyard was empty. Principal Yuan and the others were gone, and the barrier had disappeared. She walked around, and after confirming that no one was around, she left the courtyard and returned to Parting Garden. She wanted to find Su Jin and tell him not to run around for her, but she heard a surprising news when she went back. What did you say? Master already left. Sima Yue was shocked and grabbed Su Xiao Zhao's clothes. Su Xiao Zhao didn't expect Sima Yue to be so shocked and said, Master said he had something to do, so he left last night. Do you know where Master went? Su Xiao Zhao shook her head, saying, Master left with the principal and the others. He said he was going somewhere far away and won't be back for a while. All right, Master also left his life tablet. Master left his life tablet. Sima Yue panicked, let go of Su Xiao Xiao, and ran out. Little junior brother, you just came back. Where are you going? Su Xiao Xiao shouted at her back. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a flash, leaving Su Xiao Xiao with dust on her butt. Sai, you ran so fast. I haven't asked you how you're doing. He shook his head and picked up a broom to start sweeping the yard. Sima Yue rushed to Mao San Quan's office and pushed the door open without waiting for the announcement. Director Mao. She ran in and saw Mao San Quan talking to teacher. She then reacted and stood there awkwardly. You're awake? Mao San Quan was surprised to see Sima Yue rushing in. Yes. Sima Yue lowered her head. Mao San Quan said to the teacher beside him, the matter of the billboard ranking competition will be arranged according to what we discussed today. You can leave first. Yes, Director Mao. The teacher got up, cupped his hands towards Mao San Quan, and left. When he passed by Sima Yue bowed to him. You haven't recovered yet. Why are you in such a hurry? What's the matter? Mao San Quan asked. Well, I want to ask if Master and the others have left. Sima Yue asked. Yes. Can you contact Master? No. You can't? Aren't you and Master always in contact? We can't send messages to the place where they went. Mao San Quan said. Then Master, what should we do? Sima Yue was worried. Mao San Quan looked at her anxious expression and said with certainty, You heard our conversation yesterday? Sima Yue was silent for a while and nodded. Yes. That's why I want to stop Master from going. It would be better if you woke up last night. Mao San Quan said, Now that they have gone, we can't send messages. Is there no other way? There is no other way. Sima Yue was silent. You don't have to worry too much. Mao San Quan saw the way she was. Although we can't send messages, they can still send messages if they want to. We have already agreed to let them send messages back on time. If they go missing, the sect will send people to look for them. Yes. Sima Yue was silent. Is there anything else? Mao San Quan asked. No. You haven't fully recovered yet. Go back and rest. Mao San Quan said. Yes. Sima Yue bowed and retreated. Right, the billboard ranking competition 3 months later. You guys should prepare early. Yes. Sima Yue came out of the office and sighed in her heart. She walked to Sima Yue's courtyard and bumped into them. Eldest brother, second brother, where are you guys going? Sima Yue and Sima Yoichi were surprised when they saw her. Fifth bro, are you all right? Fifth bro, why did you come out? Both of them said at the same time. I have something to deal with. My injury is no longer a problem. Sima Yue said with a smile. Where are you guys going? Didn't we accept a mission before? We're going to hand it in now. Sima Yue said, We thought that the flamingo egg was with you, so we only handed in the third one. Now that you're here, let's hand in the first mission. Sima Yue gave a thought, and the flamingo egg appeared in front of them. I'm still a little uncomfortable, so I won't go with you. You can hand in the mission anytime. Since you're here, let's go in together. Sima Yue said. That's right. Let's go in. Sima Yoichi looked at her pale face, and his eyes were full of heartache. Sima Yue went in. Sima Yue and Sima Yue were surprised and happy at the same time. Fifth bro, you're finally all right. When we heard from Blue Blade, we were scared to death. Sima Yue reached out and hugged her. Blue Blade told you? Sima Yue hugged him back and asked. That's right. Sima Yue let go of her. At that time, he came to look for us and said that you had been injured by the ghost clansman. Even Teacher Su was helpless, so he brought you back to look for the principal. We were scared out of our wits. What kind of person is this Teacher Su? Even he can't do anything about it. How serious was your situation back then? That's right. Fourth brother was so scared that he was about to cry. Sima Yuming said with a smile. Aren't you the same? Sima Yue retorted. At that time, I wonder whose fingers were pinched so hard that they bled. Fifth bro, what happened to you that day? Sima Yuran asked. Go and call them over. I'll tell you all about it. I love my academy. Actively cooperate with the special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you. Chapter 783. The following is provided for you 783. Please enjoy. Yu, what exactly happened to you that day? How did you get injured to the point where even teacher Sue couldn't heal you? Fatty Chu asked anxiously when he saw Sima Yu. Yu, how are you now? Wei Ziqi asked with concern. Sima Yu smiled at them and waved her hand, saying, "Come and sit down. I'll tell you later." Bei Gong Tang came to Yu's side and sat down, saying, "Your face is still very pale. Why did you come out in just a day?" "It's no longer related," Sima Yu said. Yu, tell us what happened that day." Sima Yu said it very simply. It was nothing more than how she was injured by the ghost aura and how she was saved by Yuan Xiao, Jia, and the others. "That thing is still in your body." Sima Yulin frowned. "If that was the case, wouldn't she be in danger at all times?" "That death aura can't threaten me now. It's because I just woke up that I don't have time. Wait until I'm healed, then I'll deal with it. You don't have to worry. Ghost aura belongs to another world. Can you deal with it?" Fatty Chu asked worriedly. "Why don't you ask the principal or teacher Sue? The principal and my master are no longer in the sect. If I really can't do it, I'll find someone else to help." Sima Yu wasn't anxious. That death aura was very peaceful in her body now. Once she took precautions, it wouldn't be able to move the dark energy in her body. Thinking about the death aura that came out, she was very suspicious because she always thought that her body only had the dark attribute. She never knew that she had death aura. Before this, even Crimson Flame and Mo Sha didn't know. That was why she never dared to confirm whether her mother was from the Devil Clan or the Ghost Clan. But she didn't think that once the death aura entered her body, the death aura in her body would appear out of nowhere, and there was so much of it. Even the Spirit Pagoda pool that the Spirit Pagoda opened was filled by more than half. It wasn't any less than the Dark Pagoda pool. "Maybe this is the power your mother left for you," Mo Sha guessed. "Mother? Otherwise, I can't think of another reason." Perhaps. In fact, she had also thought that her mother might have left the death aura in her body, so that once the seal was broken, the power of darkness and light would be able to contend against each other. However, she probably didn't expect that her death chi would be completely unleashed by that black-robed ghost attack, causing her to almost die. "Yue, what are you thinking about?" Bei Gong Tang looked at Sima Yu's dazed expression and asked. Sima Yue recovered from her thoughts. Seeing that everyone was looking at her, she said, "Nothing. I was just thinking about the billboard." "Billboard? How come I overheard Director Mao talking to a teacher about this in his office?" "With your strength, you should be able to easily get first place, right?" Fatty Chu said with a grin. "Has the time been set?" Sima Yuran asked. Previously, for some reason, the timing of the billboard kept changing. It didn't seem like the style of the past at all. "It's set." 3 months later, Sima Yue said, "It just so happens that our mission has been completed. We can go in exchange for points." "Yue, you won't be leaving during this period of time. Let's go to your Spirit Pagoda to cultivate. Little Spirit's place is much better than the Cultivation Pagoda. The spirit energy is much denser and the time is longer." Fatty Chu blinked his big eyes and looked at her. Sima Yue thought about it and agreed. "But I still have to exchange for points. I'll save it for when I'm not in the sect." Second bro, and I will go first," Sima Yuming said. "Okay." Sima Yue and the others chatted for a while before Sima Yuming and Sima Yuqi returned. Both of them had smiles on their faces. "Why are you so happy? When we went to exchange for points just now, that teacher said that we took 20 flamingo eggs and gave us 2 missions. To find out the reason for the strange things in Bright Red Mountain Peak, the leader said that this matter was important and gave us 3 times the reward." 3 times? Sima Yulu jumped up. "Isn't that 32,000 points?" "That's right. Including the flamingo eggs, we earned a total of 32,000 this time." "That's right. After dividing it, each of us can get 2,900. Wow. That's enough for us to cultivate in the Cultivation Pagoda for 8 years. 1 mission in exchange for 8 years of time. This is too worth it." "That's because of Fifth Bro. If it weren't for him, not to mention completing the mission, we wouldn't even be able to keep our lives," Sima Yuming said. "Eldest Bro is still saying this to me." Be careful, or I'll get angry. Sima Yue said with a smile. My share won't be divided. I won't go to the cultivation pagoda either. It'll be a waste. In addition, little 7 doesn't need to be divided. Fifth bro, you have the cultivation pagoda. It's okay if you don't divide the points. But little 7 went with us. It's not good if you don't divide it. Sima Yuming said. Little 7 won't go to the cultivation pagoda to cultivate either. Sima Yue thought of little 7 in the spirit pagoda and was a little worried. It's okay. You don't have to count it in. You could divide it. They also knew that little 7 was not human. Since Yu said that they didn't need it, then they didn't need it. Then there are 9 of us. If we divide it equally, each of us will get 3,500. Sima Yulu was overjoyed. 3,550 cultivation points. That was almost 10 years worth of time. They could cultivate in the cultivation pagoda for 10 years. Big bro Yuming, you don't have to give us so much. Just give us 1,000 each. Wei Ziqi said. How can we do that? Big bro Yuming, we are all professional masters. It's easier for us to accept missions. We can complete them during our usual practice. On the contrary, if you want to accept missions, you will waste a lot of time. If you have more, you can cultivate for a longer time. Wei Ziqi explained. They didn't lack cultivation points, so it didn't matter if they got fewer points. Big bro, let's divide it according to what Ziqi said. Sima Yue said. In the end, Sima Yulin and Wei Ziqi's group of 5 got 5,000 points. Sima Yuming and his brothers got the remaining 27,000 points. Each of them got 6,750 points. 6,000 points. We can cultivate in the cultivation pagoda for 18 years. It's too fantastical. Sima Yulu held his token. His eyes were about to disappear from his smile. Sima Yuming and the others were also very happy. It was already good to get an unexpected reward. They didn't expect to get so many cultivation points. This time, they didn't have to go out to accept missions for a long time. 18 years was enough for them to advance in rank. At this moment, a clear and familiar voice came from outside. I heard your laughter at the door. You've been gone for so long. You're finally back. I love my academy. Actively cooperate with the fight against internet obscenity and pornographic information. Thank you, everyone. Chapter 784. The following is provided for you, 784. Please enjoy. Sima Yuming and the others stood up to welcome them. Just as they reached the entrance of the hall, they saw Shui Rong and Ma Bo Jian walking in from outside. Seeing the smiles on their faces, Shui Rong teased. You've gotten so many cultivation points. You must be overjoyed, right? You know about it too? Sima Yuming said with some surprise. We're not the only ones who know. I'm afraid that all the other teams know about it. Your Thunder team has completed 2 missions and obtained 32,000 cultivation points. The other teams are probably dying of envy. How did it spread so quickly? Sima Yuming was stunned. It's only natural that such explosive news spread quickly. You've obtained so many cultivation points in one go. It's something that has never happened before. Furthermore, you're a newly established team with few members. When everyone thinks about the cultivation points you'll get, they all go crazy. There are already many people who want to join your team. Shui Rong said with a smile. She followed Sima Yuming in and subconsciously glanced at Sima Yu. Seeing her pale face, she said with concern, Yu, why do you look so pale? Are you hurt? Sima Yu saw that Shui Rong's shock and concern were not fake. She guessed that the sect did not spread the news that she had been hurt by the ghost realm. She smiled, saying, I got hurt when I was on mission. It's no big deal now. I just need to rest for a while. It's normal to get hurt when you're on mission. As long as you don't hurt your foundation, you'll be fine. Shui Rong had seen many injured people. They were often injured when they were on missions, so she did not pay much attention to her injuries. Are you here for something? Sima Yuming asked. Actually, it's nothing much. We heard that you're back, so we came to see you. Shui Rong glanced at Sima Yu with a troubled expression. Why are you looking for me? Sima Yu asked. This. Shui Rong and Ma Bojian looked at each other. Yue was a little confused. In the end, Ma Bojian said, it's like this. We went on a mission recently. During the mission, one of our team members was injured. We heard that US studied medicine in the outer court. You have excellent medical skills, so we wanted to ask you to take a look at him. But I didn't expect you to be injured too. If a student is injured, can't they look for a teacher? Sima Yuran reminded them. Why don't we know about this? However, after the teachers in the academy checked her condition, they said that they couldn't find the reason and that there was nothing they could do. They said that they would report it. Shuirong said, we wanted to go to the outer court to look for Teacher Ge, but we heard that Teacher Ge left last night. Therefore, he wanted to invite Yue to take a look when the school arranged for a teacher to come over. After all, she is someone who Teacher Ge praised for her outstanding medical skills. But Yue is injured. We have to think of another way, Ma Bojian said. Who's injured? It's Yuan, Shuirong said. Shu Yuan? Sima Yue thought of that girl with clean eyes. When they were in the maze forest, she was still very protective of her. How is her condition? Her body is still considered normal, but she's been unconscious. Shuirong said. The teacher who came to take a look said that she won't be in any danger for the time being, but we still don't feel at ease. Since it's her, then I'll go over and take a look. Sima Yue said. But you're also. Shuirong looked at her worriedly. My condition is still all right. It's just that my body is a little weak. I'll go take a look at her condition first. If it's not serious, then we'll talk again in 2 days. Sima Yue said. Shuirong smiled at her apologetically and said gratefully, then I'll have to trouble you. Then let's go over. Sima Yue said, right, the Billboard ranking is about to start. The Billboard ranking is part of the 3 great meetings. Fatty Chu and you guys have to prepare well. Fatty Chu and the rest nodded. When she said to prepare, she meant for them to prepare the things they needed for their training. When she recovered, they would go into closed-door cultivation in the Spirit Pagoda. Hence, they had to prepare well. Sima Yue thought about how she had heard about the 3 great meetings before she entered the inner sect. Now, it was finally here. Shuirong brought Sima Yue to their dormitory. The moment they entered, they saw many people standing in the courtyard. Shuirong, is she the person you were talking about? A little guy looked at Sima Yue's sickly appearance and was a little suspicious as to whether or not she really knew medicine. I was still wondering who you guys would look for. So you guys want to look for Yue. But Yue, why do you look so pale? Someone who had seen Sima Yue in the maze forest greeted her. I got injured during a mission. Sima Yue said, I'll go take a look at Su Yuan. I'll bring you in. Shuirong said. After they left, the small person thought about how they had addressed her. He blinked and asked, Yue? Sima Yue? She's Sima Yue? You just found out that it's her? No way, you're so ignorant. Didn't I go into closed-door cultivation for a period of time? After I came out, I heard of her name, but I've never seen her in person. I thought it would be a tall and strong man. Who would have thought that it would be such a small man? The small person said, How is she small? She's about the same size as you. Someone poked him and laughed at the small person. Sima Yue entered the house and went to Su Yuan's bedroom. She saw her lying on the bed peacefully. The corners of her mouth were slightly raised as if she was smiling. Yue, she has had this expression since she fainted. It's as if she had a beautiful dream. Shuirong said, At the beginning, we all thought that she was asleep because we found her like this the next morning. But no matter how much we called her, she didn't wake up. We then realized that something was wrong. Take a look at her. Okay. Sima Yue walked over and took out her right hand to check her pulse. After a while, she put it back. How is she? Shuirong asked. Where did you guys go? Violet Water Swamp. You guys went to the Violet Water Swamp? Sima Yue looked at Shuirong in surprise. At that time, they said that they would choose a more difficult mission to earn more cultivation points. Some people saw that the mission in the Violet Water Swamp was easier and insisted on going there. Shuirong was a little angry when she said this. If it didn't go there, how would this happen? The Violet Water Swamp is one of the top 10 dangerous places in the outer region. Even if this mission isn't difficult, the environment itself is very dangerous. How could it be easy? Sima Yue shook her head in disagreement. I love my academy, actively cooperate with this special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you. Chapter 785. What happened to Yun? If I'm not wrong, she was attacked by something from the Violet Water Swamp. Sima Yue said, Spirit beast? What kind of spirit beast would attack a person like this? Shui Rong thought about it in her mind. She couldn't think of any of the spirit beasts they had encountered that could cause such an outcome. She was very puzzled. Sima Yue stood up and said, The phantom worm is a type of transparent worm that is smaller than a sesame seed. It is a spiritual type, spiritual worm. After being bitten by it, one will fall into an illusion and will not be able to wake up. To outsiders, it will look like they are sleeping. The illusions were all beautiful dreams. So most of the people who were bitten had serene expressions and smiles on their faces. How long has she been asleep? 10 days. What happened? If a person bitten by a phantom bug doesn't wake up within half a month, they will never wake up again. Fortunately, she didn't exceed the time limit. He can still be saved. Sima Yue said. Then can you save her? I can't do it now. Sima Yue shook her head. I can't do it with my current body. You could tell the teachers about her reasons. The teachers definitely know how to solve it. It's just that they haven't thought of the reason yet. So they came up with a solution. What if teacher can't cure him? Shui Rong asked worriedly. If she's still like this after 4 days, you can come and find me. My injuries should be healed by then. Sima Yue said. All right. Thank you for coming today. Shui Rong said gratefully. I can't help you much with my current body. Sima Yue said. You've already helped a lot by finding the reason. Shui Rong said. We'll ask the teacher for help. If it still doesn't work, we'll have to ask for your help again. All right. If it doesn't work, you can come to the parting garden to find me. You're not feeling well? I'll send you back. Thank you. When the people outside saw Shui Rong and Sima Yue coming out after a short while, they thought that she was out of ideas. Their faces darkened. When Shui Rong came back from outside and saw them like this, she said, Why do you guys look even worse than before? Yue is a doctor and has been praised by Mr. Ge, but she is still young. It's normal that she can't tell the reason. Sigh, I didn't have much hope at first, but now I can't say that I'm disappointed. It's a pity that there's one less hope. Like I said, it's useless to look for her. What are you guys chattering about? Shui Rong walked over and said to Ma Bojian, I'm going to look for the teacher and pass on Yue's message to him. Let's see if there's any way. What? Did Yue say anything? Yes. She found out the reason for Yuan's coma, but because of her injuries, she can't save her. She asked me to tell the teacher the reason and see if the teacher has any ideas. Shui Rong said, Come with me to find the teacher. All right. The two of them left some instructions to the members of the club and went to look for the teacher. Hey, this Sima Yue only went in for a while and found the reason? Is she really that good? The little guy from before still couldn't believe it. He felt like he was hallucinating. I told you Yue is very good. Didn't you say that you were disappointed just now? Did I? I definitely didn't say that. The teacher who treated Yuan walked out of his alchemy room. Shui Rong and Ma Bojian went up to him. Teacher Su. Shui Rong went up and bowed to Teacher Su. Shui Rong? Teacher Su saw Shui Rong and Ma Bojian and thought that they were here to see him. He said, I've already reported Yuan's situation. The school will contact you soon. Teacher Su, we found the reason for Yuan's coma. Shui Rong said, You found the reason? Teacher Su was surprised. Yes. Shui Rong nodded. We found a classmate. She went to take a look and found the reason for her coma. Classmate? Which classmate? Sima Yue. She said that Yuan must have been bitten by a type of spirit insect called the phantom bug. Phantom bug? Teacher Su thought carefully and said, If it's the phantom bug, it's really possible for such a situation to happen. Let's go. Quickly take me to see it. Shui Rong saw Teacher Su's expression and knew that he had a way. She immediately nodded happily and led him over. Teacher Su examined Yuan again. With a direction, it was indeed easier for him to find some of her characteristics. Teacher Su, how is it? Yes, it's indeed the symptoms of the phantom bug. Teacher Su said, "Why didn't I find it before?" Yue said that the phantom bug is not common and can only be found in the violet water swamp. That's why most people would not think of it. Shui Rong said, "Yue? Sima Yue?" Teacher Su asked. "Yes. So it's her." Teacher Su said. "Teacher Su, do you know her?" "I've heard some things about her." Teacher Su said, "Since we know that it's the phantom bug, then we have a way to wake her up. But we need 7 days to prepare." 7 days? That won't do. Yuan has been unconscious for 10 days. Yue said that we can wait for 5 days at most. Otherwise, Yuan will never wake up. Shui Rong said, "Only 5 days?" Teacher Su looked at the person on the bed worriedly and said, "I'll go and discuss with the other teachers to see if there's any other way. I'll go back first." "Sorry to trouble you, Teacher Su." After Teacher Su left, Shui Rong went out and told the members of the club outside. "It seems that we have to prepare for a backup plan. If Teacher Su and the others can't do it, we can only ask Yue for help. I hope Yuan will be fine. If Yuan wakes up, we have to ask her not to tell anyone about it. But even if we don't say anything, the news will spread very quickly. Even so, we still have time." If it wasn't for this, Yuan wouldn't have. Bojian walked over and scolded, "Shut up. Is that something we can talk about here? If someone hears about it, we'll be in trouble." After being yelled at, those people immediately fell silent, looking as if they had done something wrong. Ma Bojian and Shui Rong looked at each other and entered the room together. "What do you think about that matter?" Shui Rong asked. "We still have to wait for Yuan to wake up before we can confirm the situation," Ma Bojian said. "If it's really, then we have to report it to the academy. It's a pity for those brothers. Out of so many people, only Yuan escaped alive. When she wakes up and finds out the truth, we can only hand this matter to the academy." Chapter 786. For days later, CO Yuan still did not wake up. Shui Rong went to look for Sima Yue. Sima Yue had basically recovered from her injuries in the past 2 days. As her strength increased, her physique also developed more and more. This kind of external injury could usually be healed very quickly. It was even more effective than those medicinal pills. "Yue, thank you for coming today." Shui Rong welcomed Sima Yue into Su Yuan's room. "Do you need me to do anything?" "Roll up her arms, legs, and clothes," Sima Yue said. "All right." Shui Rong saw that Su Yuan's sleeves were rolled up to her elbows, and her pants were rolled up to her knees. "Is that okay?" Sima Yue looked at it and said, "It's done." She took out a pill and fed it to Chen Yuan. After waiting for a few minutes, she took a silver needle to the bedside and inserted a few needles into Chen Yuan's arms, legs, and head. When she pierced the last needle in, CO Yuan's body trembled violently. She took a deep breath, then suddenly opened her eyes and gasped for air. She looked around frantically, as if she hadn't realized where she was. Seeing Shui Rong at the side, she said excitedly, "Rong, there's so many monsters. Those people, they're all dead." Shui Rong grabbed her hand and comforted her. Yuan, don't be afraid. It's all right now. You're in the academy now. Everything is fine. Are you all right now?" Su Yuan stared blankly at Shui Rong. When she saw Shui Rong nodding, she burst into tears. She wanted to hug Shui Rong, but Sima Yue pressed her against her chest. "The needle is still on you. Don't move." Shui Rong and Su Yuan were both stunned by her actions. Su Yuan even forgot to react. Sima Yue let go of her and said, "If you move, don't blame me if the needle goes in." "Yue?" Only then did Su Yuan see Yue clearly. Then she remembered that Yue was pressing down on her part just now. She immediately blushed. Yuan, you fainted in the violet water swamp. Yue woke you up." Shui Rong was afraid that Yuan would say something she shouldn't, so she quickly explained. "Oh, thank you, Yue." CO Yuan understood and smiled gratefully at Sima Yue. "Lie down and don't move. I'm going to remove the needles and release the poisonous blood." Sima Yue removed the needle from her head. Then, She cut her finger and poured the poisoned blood into the basin that she had prepared earlier. The faint blood flowed for half a plate before it stopped. By the time Sima Yu stopped the bleeding, Su Yuan was about to faint due to excessive blood loss. All right. Sima Yu stopped the bleeding and gave Su Yuan a pill. Then, she removed the needles and said, "The poisonous blood has been released. She's basically fine now. It's just that she lost too much blood. The pill I gave her just now is to replenish her blood. Give her another 2 pills later and she'll be fine." "Thank you," Shuirong said. "You're welcome. Since she's fine now, I should go back. I'll send you back. It's okay. She just woke up. You should accompany her. How can I not find my way back in the academy?" Sima Yu smiled. "All right, I'll go into seclusion later on to prepare for the 3 great conferences. So, I don't want anyone to come and find me. Don't worry. I won't tell anyone about this." Shuirong promised. However, the news still spread. However, it wasn't from Shuirong and the others, but from the teachers. It turned out that when Teacher Su was still preparing to save Su Yuan, Shuirong and the others came and said that Su Yuan had already recovered. Teacher Su was still worried that he wouldn't be able to save her in time. So, he curiously asked Sima Yu how she had saved her. When Shuirong was telling her about it, a student just happened to pass by. When that student heard it, he was shocked and did not know how to keep his mouth shut. As a result, very quickly, the news of Sima Yu curing an illness that even the teachers could not cure spread like wildfire across the entire school. The news of the Thunder sect obtaining 30,000 cultivation points hadn't even passed. Then, the news of Sima Yu spread. The Thunder sect became a legend in everyone's eyes. Everyone wanted to join them. However, when they went to Sima Yulin's dormitory to look for them, they were already gone. When they asked Toba and Air and the others, they found out that they had all asked for leave. Sima Yu didn't ask for leave. However, not everyone dared to barge into Su Jin's parting garden. At this moment, Sima Yu and the others were eating delicious food in the backyard. "Little junior brother, just how unlucky are you? You've been out for such a short period of time, and you've been injured so many times." Han Miao Shuang nibbled on a drumstick and drank fruit wine. She laughed and teased Sima Yu about her bad luck. Sima Yu sighed and said, "I think I'm pretty unlucky too." She thought about how she had been struck by lightning twice in the few months she had been out. She was almost killed by the death aura. Others didn't have such good luck. Others have only injured their arms and legs. You, on the other hand, injured your entire body. From top to bottom, inside to outside, there's not a single bit that's healed. Kong Junchul rarely joked. However, Sima Yu didn't want to laugh at all. "Why do I see gloating in your eyes?" Sima Yu glared at him unhappily. "If you laugh at me again, I won't give you anything to eat." "How am I laughing at you? I'm just speaking the truth." Kong Junchul said, "Look, when have you not been shocked to the core? Let's talk about the time you saved your brother. In the end, you actually got yourself into the chaotic world. Go and get a bird's egg. You struck a few hundred God-ranked and Monarch-ranked experts. Then, you struck yourself until there's not a single piece of skin left unscathed. Then go and check on the news. You were almost killed by the Ghost Clan. Should I say that you're lucky every time, or that you're just too unlucky?" Sigh. Sima Yu sighed heavily. "Senior brother, I'll give you my luck. It's useless even if you give it to me." Kong Junchul skillfully snatched the chicken wing that she had just roasted from her hands. Sima Yu was speechless. Did he have to be so skillful? "Junior brother, don't worry. Although Master has left, we'll still take care of you." Su Xiao said seriously. Sima Yu nodded. She picked up a skewer of tenderloin and continued to roast it. Her face revealed a trace of worry. Han Miao Shuang took a bite of the meat and drank a mouthful of wine. She felt that this feeling was too wonderful. Seeing that Sima Yu was in a daze, she used her elbow to poke her and said, "Junior brother, you don't have to worry about Master. He said that he had something to do, but from what I see, he just wants to change his current life. Don't worry." Sima Yu lifted the corner of her mouth. She wanted to smile, but she couldn't. He even left his life jade behind. Didn't he feel that he would be in danger? Chapter 787. Little junior brother, don't worry. Master is a scourge who lives for thousands of years. He won't die so easily, Kong Junchul said with a poisonous tongue. However, Sima Yue could still hear a trace of worry in his voice, but it was not as strong as hers. They don't know where Master went, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be so calm. All right, why isn't Little Seven back yet? Han Miao Shuang asked. Little Seven went to evolve. He won't be back anytime soon. Sima Yue said. Little Seven is indeed not human. Su Xiaoxiao sighed. Evolution. Kong Junchul narrowed his eyes. Generally, the advancement of spirit beasts could not be called evolution. Only when spirit beasts opened their bloodlines and entered a higher level could it be called evolution. Little Seven had actually evolved. What exactly was she? At this moment, Fatty Chu and the others were still staring blankly at the creature. Is this really Little Seven? Fatty Chu pointed at Little Seven in shock, not daring to believe it. Little Seven's identity is really unexpected, Sima Yuran said, while shaking his head. It really is shocking. This time, even Sima Yulin, who had always been calm, was no longer calm. When Yue let them in, she only said that Little Seven was evolving inside, so they came to take a look. They didn't expect to see this scene. No wonder Yue managed to obtain the Eye of the Earth after just a few days. So the owner is here. Wei Ziqi shook his head and laughed. They had been searching for information about the Eye of the Earth ever since they arrived at the Inner Court, but they had made no progress in the past year. On the other hand, Yue had only been here for a short period of time, but she had already gotten to know Little Seven and had even received a gift from her. Fate was indeed important between people. Since Little Seven is here, then let's sit here and meditate. Sima Yuming said, I heard that Little Seven can help people cultivate and increase the speed of repair. Let's give it a try. Fatty Chu took out a praying mat and placed it beside Little Seven before sitting down. Sima Yulu took a deep breath, saying, This smell is really the same as the one I usually smell in the sect. No, it's much denser. All right, go and cultivate. Sima Yuming patted him on the back, urging him on. Sima Yulu chuckled as he went to find a praying mat and placed it beside Fatty Chu. After he sat down, he was so excited that he couldn't cultivate. Fatty. He poked Fatty Chu, who seemed to have already entered a meditative state. Can you cultivate? I can't. Fatty Chu didn't even open his eyes as he said blankly. Sima Yulu was amused by the way he was behaving and patted him on the shoulder. Good boy, you can't cultivate and you're still pretending to be so serious. Fatty Chu opened one eye and stared at him, saying, Aren't I trying to calm myself down? Otherwise, I'm afraid I'll have to fly around the Spirit Pagoda 3 times. Buffed. Everyone was amused by his behavior. Fatty, I think you should go fly 3 rounds. Otherwise, you won't be able to cultivate properly in the future. Bei Gong Tang laughed as she said, I think so too. Fatty, you should go fly. Ouyang Fei looked at Fatty Chu, implying that if he didn't fly, he wouldn't be able to cultivate today. You guys, you're all so excited. Don't make me fly alone. Let's do it together. Fatty Chu opened both eyes and glared at them. We're excited, but we're not pretending to be serious. Sima Yuran said with a smile. You guys are too bad. Just now, you all said that you wanted to cultivate, but now you're all laughing at me. Fatty Chu was unhappy. Who asked you to be stupid? Wei Ziqi said, Since nobody is in the mood to cultivate, why don't we find something else to do? Yulin, what's wrong with you? Everyone heard what Wei Ziqi said and looked at Sima Yulin. His face was no longer as excited as before. Instead, it was filled with worry. He looked at Little Seven and said worriedly, There are so many people outside, so many forces looking for her. If people know that she's here, I don't know what kind of carnage it will cause. Sigh, that's right. Wei Ziqi sighed as well. Yu's things are all so heaven-defying. Every single one of them will cause an earthquake if the outside world knows about it. That's why we have to keep it a secret for her. Fatty Chu said, All right, didn't you say that the 2 ghost clansmen are still in the Spirit Pagoda? Since we don't want to cultivate, let's go and see the 2 ghost clansmen. That's fine too. Then let's go. Outside the Spirit Pagoda, Han Miao Shuang hit Sima Yu's arm and said, Yu, it's the tenderloin. Sima Yu lowered her head and looked at the barbecued meat in her hand. It was indeed burnt. Cough, cough, I was distracted. She threw the burnt meat aside and picked up a few skewers again. What are you thinking about? Little Seven? Han Miao Shuang asked. Yeah, Sima Yu didn't deny it. Little Seven got first place in the previous Billboard ranking meeting, right? Yeah, it's that little brat. Han Miao Shuang said, if I didn't go out and overhear people talking about it, I wouldn't know that she got first place. What do you plan to participate in? I want to try everything and see where I stand. Sima Yu said, of course, the main focus is still alchemy. If it was in the past, she might have focused on the Billboard ranking meeting. But after this incident, she wanted to bring back some glory for Su Jin. Although, he couldn't see it now and didn't care. Little junior brother, if you were to do alchemy, you would probably scare everyone. Su Xiao said, senior brother and senior sister, will you be participating in the 3 big meetings? We won't be participating. It's boring to participate every time. Kong Junshul's eyelids were glued together again. Sima Yu suspected that this guy didn't want to eat and was preparing to sleep. She divided the meat skewers into Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao Zhao's bowls. Kong Junshul opened his eyes immediately and looked at his empty plate, saying, mine. Sima Yu redistributed the meat skewers to the 3 of them. Then she took out a few eggplants and chili and started to roast them. You can roast vegetables too? Han Miao Shuang's eyes lit up. She had never eaten roasted vegetables before. Of course, the taste of roasted vegetables is very good. Especially this eggplant. I like it the most. Sima Yu said as she roasted them. I believe it will be so delicious that even your tongue will want to swallow it. Han Miao Shuang looked at the vegetables in anticipation. Sima Yu roasted the vegetables and shared them, saying, oh right, I thought of something. What? Have you been to the Violet Water Swamp? Violet Water Swamp? Never been there. What happened? Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao looked at her. Kong Junshul lowered his head and ate the roasted eggplant. She didn't know if he was listening. I suspect that something happened in the Violet Water Swamp. Sima Yu replied. Chapter 788. What's wrong? Kong Junshul's voice was still lazy, but made Yue feel at ease. Didn't I go to treat CO Yuan this morning? Then I realized there was a problem. Sima Yue thought for a while and organized her words. She continued, she was bitten by the phantom worm. That's true. Phantom bug? Wasn't that something that could only be found in the graveyard of the Violet Water Swamp? They went to the cemetery? Han Miao Shuang asked in surprise. It was so easy to talk to professionals. Most books only record that phantom worms live in Violet Water Swamp, and many people only know this. But I didn't know that this can only be found in cemeteries. Sima Yue said, I asked Shui Rong and the rest if they had been to any special places. She said no, they were bitten when they were on a mission in the swamp. If it's just a normal graveyard, there's nothing to hide. But they didn't tell you the truth, so you guess what happened there? Su Xiao asked. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. But I'm just curious. When CO Yuan woke up, she was very frightened. It seemed that many people had died. I think the Academy will receive the news soon. What? Su Xiao asked. So many people have died, the Cliff Mountain Society needs to give the Academy an explanation. Kong Junshul said. Now we just have to see if the Academy will announce this news. I don't think so. Han Miao Shuang guessed. For the Cliff Mountain Society to hide this matter for so long, it must not be a small matter. Otherwise, they would have told the Academy when they came back. Now that the 3 great meetings are around the corner and the Billboard rankings are about to be rearranged, this is a matter of utmost importance to the Academy. The teachers will not speak of it at this time and disturb the students' hearts. Thinking about it, it made sense. And it seems like we won't have a chance to find out what's going on. Sima Yue said, if you want to know, you can look for Director Mao in 2 days. Kong Junshul said, grill me another eggplant. Sima Yue took out another eggplant and placed it on the grill. Seeing Su Xiao and Han Miao Shuang looking at her, She took out another 2 eggplants and said, I don't want to go out now. The students of the academy are too crazy. Ha ha, just hide here. You have nothing to do now anyway. Just stay here and prepare for the 3 great conventions. Su Xiao laughed. Yeah, I think so too. Sima Yue said. By the way, junior brother, tell us about the Dark Forest. Previously, I only heard Master mention a few words, but didn't go into detail. Han Miao Shuang said, Did you guys leave the academy and go to the Dark Forest? No, we encountered something even worse before we reached the Dark Forest. There's something worse? Quick, tell me. Actually, it's nothing much. We were just sold by someone. Sima Yue was still speechless when she thought about the West Coast desert. Han Miao Shuang spat out the wine in her mouth. She didn't care about her image at all. You were sold. She pointed at Sima Yue with a face full of disbelief. Su Xiao glanced at her blankly. He was speechless as he condensed a ball of flame to dry the wine that Su Xiao spat on him. Even Kong Junchul's lazy eyes had a hint of interest. Come, tell senior brother and senior sister. How were you sold? Senior brother loves to see others suffer. Sima Yue was speechless. Why didn't she realize that senior brother was so bad? Junior brother, don't bother about him. Quick, tell us. How were you sold? Han Miao Shuang looked at Sima Yue agitatedly. Although she said to ignore Kong Junchul, wasn't she acting just like Kong Junchul? Sima Yue put an extra layer of chili on the grilled eggplant. She added a spoonful of salt and some vinegar and placed it on their plates. Then, she started to speak. It's because the sex teleportation array is too deceitful. It didn't send us to the place we wanted to go. Instead, it sent us to the West Coast Desert. West Coast Desert? That's still a far cry from the Dark Forest. Han Miao Shuang said. Yeah. Sima Yue sighed and continued. The West Coast Desert is so big, and it's our first time there. The first thing we met was a despicable bald bird. Because it was unhappy that we taught it a lesson, it pointed us in a random direction. It even said that we would reach in 2 days. After that, we flew for 2 days and didn't even see a single bird feather. Han Miao Shuang burst out laughing again. I didn't think that you guys would be deceived by a bald bird. Was that the one that was sold? Su Xiao asked. No, when I said sold, I meant sold. Sima Yue said. Don't interrupt. Kong Junchul glanced at the two of them. The two of them stopped talking and waited for Sima Yue to continue. Sima Yue looked at their sparkling eyes and wanted to poke them with a barbecue skewer. What happened after that? After that, when we realized that we were deceived, we couldn't find that bald bird anymore. Coincidentally, we met a woman at that time. She was quite pretty. Very charming. Han Miao Shuang was speechless. You're a girl. You don't have to describe that woman like that, right? After the previous experience, we decided to let her bring us there. So we gave her money, and she brought us to the nearest city. Then she sold you guys? The city that she brought us to was affiliated with a sect. It was a place for minors to rest. Sima Yue said. That woman took the other party's money. In the end, she was defeated by Little Seven with 1 punch. Ha! Han Miao Shuang knocked the table with her chopsticks. She was laughing so hard that she couldn't breathe. Didn't you give her money to sell you guys? Ha ha! Why would you do such a stupid thing? That sect, could it be the Brave Moon sect? Kong Junchul said. Yes, that's it. Sima Yue said. They wanted to put the slave rings on us. In the end, we released all their slaves. Then, not long after, they were destroyed. Damn, those people were you guys? Han Miao Shuang cursed and looked at Sima Yue in shock. Sima Yue blinked and looked at her in confusion. Previously, there were students who came back and said that the Brave Moon sect offended someone. They asked them to destroy their sect. So, you guys are the ones who have been spreading rumors about you all the time. You all knew. Of course, many people in the sect used to worship those young people. I didn't expect it to be you guys. Han Miao Shuang said in disbelief. I guess the thing they regret the most is that they bought you guys from the West Coast Desert. Ha ha ha. Chapter 789. Sima Yue looked at the expressions on their faces. She saw them laughing and stuffing her spiced grilled eggplant into their mouths, waiting for their reactions. But these guys were so amused by her that they didn't notice that the smell this time was a little strange. I realized that when little junior brother goes out, it will definitely shake the heavens and earth. Han Miao Shuang said. Did she? Last time when you went back, Teacher Gu said that it made him experience nervousness, excitement, and worry that he hadn't experienced for many years. In the end, you sent yourself to the chaotic world. That was her own thrilling experience, all right? How could it be earth-shattering? After that, you can go out and carry out a mission. You can destroy an entire sect. Although you are just a catalyst, you are also the reason, right? Weren't they the ones who provoked him first? She didn't want to get into that kind of trouble. After that, you annihilated hundreds of experts from hundreds of forces in the Dark Forest. You were the one who did it. The entire outer perimeter was shaken by that incident, and the foundation was almost shaken. That was because they wanted to snatch little two and kill him. She was just retaliating. I went to Bright Red Mountain Peak to investigate, but the ghost race was involved, and I almost died. Whether it was the destruction of a sect, the Dark Forest, or the Bright Red Mountain Peak, which one of them was not an earth-shattering event. Yeah. What's with that expression of yours? Are you going to deny it? Han Miao Shuang looked at Sima Yue and wanted to poke her with a chopstick, but she was hit back with a barbecue stick. I also think that the things that little junior brother does are very fun. Kong Junchul said, since it's so fun, then let's go together in the future. Cough, cough. Sima Yue almost choked on her own saliva. She looked at Kong Junchul in shock and said, You're not joking, right? Are you kidding me? Kong Junchul said with a serious face, Master is no longer here. As your senior brothers, we naturally have to protect you and teach you well. It's only right that I go out with you. Give me another one. Don't add so much salt, pepper, and vinegar. Sima Yue looked at Kong Junchul in amusement. This guy usually looked lazy and did not care about anything. She did not expect him to have such a shameless side. Kong Junchul, on the other hand, had other ideas. Before Su Jin left, he did tell them to take care of Sima Yue. Although she didn't come for long, she was indeed young in their eyes. She was just a fraction of their age, so they had to add another digit in front of her age. The person Su Jin chose was the same as him, stubborn. Since they were together, they were a family and had to support each other. It was their duty to take care of her. Birds of a feather flocked together. Otherwise, how could Su Jin have only taken in 4 disciples after living for several hundred years? By the way, junior brother, what's the matter with the mineral load of the Brave Moon sect? Su Xiaoxiao asked. Those rumors are so exaggerated. Is the mine really gone? It should be, Sima Yue said. At that time, we also ran away together and did not pay attention to whether or not there was anyone behind us. When Kong Junchul heard her words, he smiled and did not say anything. Junior brother, there's something that Master has always wanted to ask you. Unfortunately, he didn't have the chance. Kong Junchul looked straight at Sima Yue and said. Sima Yue looked at Kong Junchul's eyes and felt a little scared. Did this guy know that she was lying? When she was thinking about how to deal with it, Kong Junchul said something that surprised her even more. The 10 great villains are now your people, right? He smiled faintly. The expression on his face was both evil and righteous. Sima Yue could not see his thoughts for a moment. She thought about it and did not immediately deny it. Instead, she asked, How do you know? This was admitting that the 10 great villains were now her people. Master said so. Kong Junchul pushed the blame to Su Jin. Usually, I don't see you and Master talking much. Both of you sleep whenever you have time. Could it be that you have sex in your dreams? Han Miao Shuang interrupted. Sima Yue originally had a little bit of vigilance in her heart, but it was immediately washed away by her words. That's right, they're now my people. She said, How did Master guess? You took on 3 missions. Master knew when you left with them. When he saw the 10 great villains with your brother and the others, he guessed that they were in cahoots. He also saw that one of them was sickly, so he guessed that you made a deal with them. Master guessed correctly, right? Yes, you're right. Sima Yue did not continue to roast meat. She sat on her seat and took out a glass of wine. She said faintly, "But, did Master guess it, or did you guess it? Isn't it the same whoever guessed it?" Kong Junshul moved his body and said, "Anyway, the result is the same." Result? Master asked the Academy's mission office to withdraw this mission. Withdraw? Sima Yue was surprised. Master asked for it to be withdrawn? He still has some status in the Academy. He has the right to withdraw a mission. Sima Yue was silent for a while and asked, "Then why is senior brother asking me this?" "Actually, it's nothing. I just wanted to ask, what are you planning to let them do, if there's anything fun?" Kong Junshul said casually. She took 2 deep breaths and said no. "Really? No," she said with certainty. She did not want them to know about the matter of forming a force. Not to mention the fact that they hadn't succeeded yet. Even if they did, they had to make sure that as few people as possible knew about their existence in the future. All right, since you don't want to say, then to protect your safety and complete Master's instructions, we can only follow you at all times. If you do something dangerous and something happens, you die or become disabled. How are we going to answer to Master? Kong Junshul looked as if it was up to her to say it or not, which made her gnash her teeth in anger. Sima Yue gritted her teeth. She had the urge to pounce on him and beat him up. Fox, a black-bellied fox. It won't do you any good to know. It's not up to you to decide if there are any benefits. If it's really not good, then we'll choose not to hear about it. You're ruthless. I asked them to find a place for me to form a force. Form a force? Really? Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao Xiao stared at Sima Yue in shock. Even Kong Junshul was surprised. He looked at her with a deep gaze. "Little junior brother, are you right? You want to form a force?" Han Miao Shuang felt that she was being pressured too much by Kong Junshul and spoke nonsense. Chapter 790. Sima Yue glanced at the 3 of them. Since she had said so, she would not lie to them. "Why are you forming a force?" Kong Junshul asked. He and Su Jin had thought of many possibilities. They thought that she was going to do something dangerous, so they wanted to ask her. She was still so young, so she shouldn't do those dangerous things. But she actually wanted to establish a force. This was really beyond his expectations. "Of course I have something to do," Sima Yue said. "Little junior brother, you still want to establish a force? Why didn't you invite me for such a fun thing?" Han Miao Shuang ran to her side and reached out to pinch her cheeks. Then, she began to rub them. Sima Yue struggled to escape from the devil's claws and said, "I didn't build it for fun." "Then what did you build it for?" Han Miao Shuang looked at her curiously. "Senior sister, don't ask about this. Don't tell me you're going to rob and rob. Senior sister, that's enough. We're fellow disciples. Don't tell me you really don't want to tell me. It's not that I don't want to, but I can't." Sima Yue said, "What I'm going to do is very dangerous. It's not something ordinary." When Han Miao Shuang heard this, she hooked her neck and said faintly, "What you mean is that your senior sister is someone who is afraid of danger and can't tell me about this." "Senior sister, the more you don't say it, the more I want to know. How about it? Are you going to tell me?" Han Miao Shuang smiled. Her arms around Yu's neck tightened. Sima Yue was more powerful than her, so she could easily break free, but she did not do so. "Senior sister, I haven't started yet. I'll tell you when I'm done." "You haven't started yet? Does that mean it's going to be done later? Why don't I do it with you?" Han Miao Shuang's eyes lit up with interest. "Senior sister, it's not that I don't want you to do it, but once I find out, I can't withdraw. Wouldn't it be bad if I implicate you? Don't be afraid. I, your senior sister, have no father, no mother, and no clan. It doesn't matter if I'm implicated. Anyway, there's nothing exciting to do in the academy all day." Sima Yue could not find an excuse. "Little junior brother, if you don't let me participate, I won't keep it a secret for you. I'll tell Xiao Xiao and the others." "All right then, I'll tell you later." Sima Yue compromised this time. "That's it?" Su Xiao Xiao looked at Sima Yue and told Han Miao Shuang, "Junior brother, let me join too. It seems pretty good." "Xiao Xiao, Are you planning to sweep the floor of Junior Brothers' sect? Before Sima Yue could speak, Han Miao Shuang spoke first. You're the one sweeping the floor. Su Xiaoxiao said unhappily. We are all fellow disciples. You can't just tell her and not us. Then why don't you go and grasp Junior Brother's secret, then see if little Junior Brother will tell you? Han Miao Shuang said proudly. What secret do you know? I already said it's a secret. How can I tell you? Han Miao Shuang lifted her chin, showing that she was in a good mood. You want the 10 great villains to help you build a force. Do you want to build a villains gang? Kong Junchul was not as agitated as Su Xiaoxiao and guessed. You can say so. Sima Yue said. Master said not to let you go out because there are many people out there who want to kill you. So it's hard to say if you want to build a force. Threat. It was a blatant threat. Of course, if you let us join in, it'll be different. Bad guy. I don't have any parents or clan here. Kong Junchul added. Pa. The wine glass in her hand shattered, but her hand was not hurt at all. Don't be angry. Didn't I give you a choice? Kong Junchul said with a smile. He was not intimidated by Sima Yue's aura at all. What do you mean I don't have any parents or clan here? Do you mean there are other places? Then I can't tell you. She shrugged and said, It won't affect your business. Maybe I can help you. Sima Yue looked at him in confusion. Her mind was quickly turning over the memories. It seemed that there was no famous Jiang family on the road. Little brother, if you want to tell them, you can't not tell me. Su Xiaoxiao said quickly when she saw Sima Yue's silence. She thought he agreed. Sima Yue sighed and said, You don't have to do this. I don't know what Master said to you to take care of me, but there are some things that you don't have to do. Since I've made the decision, I won't change it. Kong Junchul said, Say it. Sima Yue closed her eyes and thought for a while. She said, Then I'll tell you. We set up the force to kill people, because the other party is very strong and not easy to deal with. In order to prevent people from retreating and to avoid involving the innocent, we plan to only choose those outlaws. That's why you chose the 10 great villains. Kong Junchul said. Sima Yue nodded. Then you also plan to choose those outlaws in the future? Sima Yue nodded again. It's not easy to tame those people to follow you. Kong Junchul had seen many such people when he went out with Su Jin. But once they surrender, they will be willing. I know, Sima Yue said. Okay, then what are we going to choose? Sima Yue looked at her and said, You're going to? You're going to. How can we let you go alone? That's right. Han Miao Shuang poked Sima Yue's head and said, How can we let you go alone? Of course we're going together. Where are you planning to go? Su Xiaoxiao asked. You're going too? Sima Yue was helpless. Of course. Both of them are going. How can I stay in the academy alone? It's dirty outside. Sima Yue tried to change her mind. I'll clean myself, Su Xiaoxiao said without hesitation. Okay then. You guys, don't regret it. Sima Yue said. What's there to regret? Han Miao Shuang said, If I continue to live an ordinary life, I'll regret it when I'm old. Sigh. Sima Yue shook her head. She didn't agree with her idea of going with her for the sake of excitement. When are we going? We haven't chosen the place yet. We haven't done anything yet. We'll talk about it after the 3 great meetings. Okay, then let's wait for the 3 great meetings to end. Kong Junchul said. At this time, a small paper crane flew in from outside the courtyard and stopped in front of them. Chapter 791. What's this? Su Xiaoxiao wanted to catch the paper crane, but the paper crane quickly dodged and landed in front of Sima Yue. This is Xiang Yi's paper crane. Sima Yue reached out, and the paper crane landed on her palm. Her spiritual power dissipated, and it became an ordinary paper crane. I've heard that Kong Valley has a skill that can turn paper into spirit beasts. It seems like it's true. Kong Junchul looked at the paper crane thoughtfully. Sima Yue opened the paper crane and glanced at the message on it. I need to go out for a while. Now, they're waiting for me outside, saying that they have something to tell me. Also, a few friends that I met at Bright Red Mountain Peak were worried about me. so they followed Fatty and the rest over. I want to meet them too. Sima Yue said, Senior brother Su, I'll have to trouble you to pack up these things. Okay, go ahead. Su Xiaoxiao nodded. Go early and come back early. Come back and tell us in detail about your situation. Han Miao Shuang said. All right, you're going out just like that? Aren't you afraid of being surrounded by those students? Sima Yue thought about it and called Thousand Resonance out. She fused with him and changed into another appearance. I'm leaving. She straightened her clothes and strode out of the parting garden. The fusion of spiritual techniques of the Sima family. Kong Junchul muttered, Our little junior brother has many secrets. You recognize it too? Han Miao Shuang said, It's so easy to recognize. How can I not recognize it? Kong Junchul said, It's just that we don't know what kind of relationship our little junior brother has with the Sima family. Little junior brother came from the continent below. There is no doubt about that. However, the spiritual techniques of the Sima family were never taught to outsiders. This was for sure. If they knew about junior brother's existence, I don't know how they would deal with it. Han Miao Shuang said worriedly, What's there to be afraid of? Kong Junchul waved his sleeves. Our master is not someone who can be easily bullied. Who dares to bully our little junior brother? With master's temperament, wouldn't he destroy the other party's house? Isn't what happened to you the best proof of that? Han Miao Shuang thought back to that year, when she had just acknowledged him as her master. When he found out that she wasn't living well in the family, he wanted to get back at her and dealt with all the people who had bullied her in the family. Then he told those people in the family that she had nothing to do with them from now on. In the end, he took her and left. Her lips curled into a smile. At this moment, her smile was so beautiful. Yes, Master is indeed the best master in the world. But when Master went out this time, he even left behind his life tablet. I think he must have met with misfortune. Su Xiao said, Where did Master go? Master is trying to find a way to prolong junior brother's life. Kong Junchul said. He spoke with Su Jin alone for a while before he left, telling him some things as well as the reason for his departure. However, he only said that he was going to look for a solution. He did not say why. What's wrong with junior brother? Su Xiao and Han Miao Shuang were shocked. Kong Junchul shook his head. Master is fine. He just told us to take good care of junior brother. Sigh. Sima Yue changed her appearance. When she left Parting Garden, she saw many people strolling outside intentionally or unintentionally. When they saw her come out, they all looked over. When they saw that it was someone they didn't know, they turned their gaze away. Sima Yue smiled. When she left the living area of the intersect, she removed the fusion and returned to her original appearance. Then, she went to the teleportation array. The two people guarding the array were still the same two people. When they saw Sima Yue, their eyes flashed with passion. However, when they thought of Yuan Shao Jie's words, they could only suppress their thoughts. Yue, are you going out? Dewei asked with a smile. Yes, there's something I need to go back for. Sima Yue took out Su Jin's token and handed it to Dewei. Dewei took it and looked at it casually before returning it to her. Go. Be careful. Don't forget that there are many people who want to kill you. Sima Yue kept the token and said with a smile, I know. However, I think that those people won't dare to cause trouble in Heavenly City. Thank you both for your concern. She stood on the teleportation array and Little Wei activated it. Then she left. Sima residence. Shimin Feng was chatting with Sima Lai, while Kong Sang Yi was sitting at the side. When he saw that Sima Yue had returned, he stood up and looked at her carefully. Are you all right? I'm fine. Aren't I fine now? Sima Yue said with a smile. Yue, are you injured? Sima Lai walked over and looked at her from head to toe. Sima Yue saw him like this and knew that they didn't tell him about her situation. Grandfather, I'm fine. I just suffered a small injury before. Small injury? Would they hide it from us if it was a small injury? When those guys come back, I'll definitely teach them a lesson. Sima Lai said. He knew that those guys were acting weird that day. They were indeed hiding Yue's injury from him. Grandfather, I'm fine now, aren't I? Sima Yue held his arm. Brother and the others were afraid that you would be worried, so they didn't tell you. Don't be angry about the past. She shook his arm and begged for mercy. No, I have to teach them a lesson. Otherwise, they'll hide everything from me in the future. That won't do, Sima Lai said angrily. Grandfather. Sima Yue kept shaking his arm. Sima Lai looked at his precious granddaughter and couldn't be angry anymore. He sighed and asked, "Are you seriously injured this time?" If it wasn't serious, those guys wouldn't have hidden it from him. Sima Yue nodded and said, "When I was fighting with the Ghost Clan, I was hit with a death aura. In the end, it caused the death aura in my body to explode. I couldn't control it and gave them a chance to rebel. After that, Master brought me back to the academy, and the principal and the others healed me. So it's nothing serious." Sima Lai glared at her and said, "Do you really think that grandfather doesn't know anything? Hearing you say it, I know it's serious, but you still say it so casually. Isn't it all in the past? Brother and the others only heard about it from their friends and didn't see me with their own eyes, so how would they dare to tell you about my situation? What if they said something serious and scared you?" Sima Yue said with a smile, "I'll stay by your side in the future." Sima Lai said, "Anyway, we don't have much to spend, so we can just cultivate in the Spirit Pagoda. I'll be more at ease if I follow you." Sima Yue hesitated for a moment, but still nodded and said, "That's good too. Anyway, there's more time in there, so it'll be faster to cultivate. I was afraid that you guys wouldn't be able to interact with anyone in there and would feel bored. Then I'll go and discuss with the three of them. You siblings have things to discuss too. I won't disturb you guys." Sima Lai finished speaking and went to look for Sang Muyu and the others. Chapter 792. Sima Yue and Shimin Feng came to their seats and sat down. They took out the small paper crane and returned it to Kong, saying, "Yi, is there really no problem with your injury? I heard from them that your situation at that time was very frightening. Even Su Jin couldn't do anything." Shimin Feng was a little worried about her. "It was a little scary at the time, but it's fine now. I won't joke about my body." Sima Yue said, "Why did you call me out in a small paper box?" There's indeed something," Shimin Feng said, "but you are the most important. All right, I know you're worried about me. Now that you see that I am fine, can you tell me what happened?" Sima Yue was amused by Shimin Feng and asked with a smile, "We're here to ask you something." Kong Sengyi said, "We previously obtained an array formation, but we don't know how to break it. That's why we came to you for help." "Array formation? Your Kong Valley should have an array master, right?" Sima Yue asked doubtfully. "But our array master said that this array formation is not the current array formation, so there is no way to break it." Kong Sengyi said, "We thought that you would know some ancient array formations, so we wanted to ask you for help." "Asking for help? What's wrong? Are you guys trapped in that formation?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes. These are the parts that our formation masters drew based on the information they sent out." Kong Sengyi took out a piece of paper and passed it to Sima Yue. Sima Yue took it and opened it. There was only a part of the array, and only one corner was drawn in detail. She looked at it for a while and said, "This should be a graveyard array, right?" "Yes, it's the graveyard's array formation." "Can you solve it?" Kong Sengyi asked excitedly. Sima Yue frowned and thought for a while, then said, "There are too few arrays. It's similar to several other formations, but I'm not sure which one it is." He could only be sure if he saw it with his own eyes. "Where is this array formation from?" Kong Sengyi was silent for a moment, then said, "This came from a tomb in the Violet Water Swamp." "The mausoleum in the Violet Water Swamp? Why was it the Violet Water Swamp again?" "What's wrong, sister?" Shimin Feng asked when he saw Sima Yue frowning. "Nothing, I'm just curious as to why there's such an ancient formation in the Violet Water Swamp." Sima Yue said, "How did the Kong Valley people get trapped here? This is something they discovered by accident. The disciples in the valley went to the Violet Water Swamp to complete their mission. Then, they hurried over to take a look. There seemed to be some movement there. In the end, he accidentally fell into a swamp. Below the swamp was a mausoleum. Since they had discovered this place, they naturally had to explore it. Who knew that they would be trapped in the array formation in the end? It's a good thing that Jing Huan knows a little about arrays." After he contacted the outside world, he spread the news. Jing Huan? Don't tell me it's Jing Huan who was trapped in the West Coast desert? Sima Yue raised her brows. Of course it's him. After Jingwen found out that you saved his brother, he kept saying that he wanted to thank you. He just escaped from the West Coast desert. How'd he get trapped again? Sima Yue felt that this guy's luck was too good. He went with Jingwen. I was worried about them, so I let the disciples in the valley go with them. Kong Sengyi said. So you're saying that Jingwen is also inside? Sima Yue asked. Yes. Kong Sengyi hesitated for a moment, then said, I know that your school is holding a competition soon, but can you go over and take a look? Jingwen said that there are many mechanisms inside. I'm afraid that they won't be able to hold on for long. I can ask for leave to take a look and give it a try, but I might not be able to break it. I don't have 100% confidence either. Sima Yue said. Really? Thank you, Yue, but I have to go back to the school to ask for leave. Sima Yue said, This time I'm afraid that it will take some time. Although my master is not here, I still have to go back and tell the school. Okay, then we'll wait for you. Before I go back, I have to go to Memory Restaurant. A few friends are still waiting for my news. Sima Yue said. Friends? They're the disciples of the heroic sword sect that I met at Bright Red Mountain Peak. They were worried about me because I was injured, so they followed me. Sima Yue explained. I'll go with you. Shimin Feng said. No need. I won't get lost. Sima Yue said, I'll go see them and then go back to the school. I can go by myself. Okay then. Sima Yue went to greet Sima Lai and left. Sima Lai felt that his decision was right. Ever since he came up, he had spent too little time with the children, but he couldn't go with them immediately. He still had to settle the matters of Memory Restaurant. Sima Yue went to Memory Restaurant. The shopkeeper saw her and immediately welcomed her. Young master. Shopkeeper, the friends that brother brought last time, are they still staying here? Sima Yue asked. Yes. They're in the first few rooms on the 3rd floor. The shopkeeper said. Oh, then I'll go up by myself. You could go do your work. Sima Yue said and went upstairs. When she came to the room at the end, she heard voices inside. She listened carefully, and after confirming that they were chatting, she knocked on the door lightly. Who is it? Yu Qing opened the door and saw Sima Yue standing outside. She said in surprise, Yue, you're better. Boss is here. Wei came over and saw Sima Yue standing outside their door. He hugged her happily. Boss, if you didn't come, I wouldn't have been able to hold on. Cough, cough. Sima Yue almost couldn't breathe from his hug. She patted his arm and asked him to let her go. What do you mean you couldn't hold on? Why does this sound so ambiguous? Sima Yue walked in, and only then did she notice the 2 strangers in the room. They are Wei's brothers. They're here to bring him back, Blue Blade explained. At the same time, they were here to see what kind of person their brother called Boss was. Wei then introduced them to each other. Little brother, you've seen him now. It's time to go back with us. One of Wei's brothers said. Oh, Wei seemed to listen to his brother. Although he was reluctant to part with Sima Yue, he still nodded his head obediently. Boss, I'm relieved to see that you're better. Don't pull a long face. It's not like we won't see each other again. Sima Yue said. Boss, if you go to the central region, remember to look for me. Wei said a long list of ways to find him in the central region. At this moment, one of the mother-son stones in her space ring suddenly moved. Chapter 793. Crazy Wife. Godly Doctor 5th Miss Chapter 2. Gift Giving Category. Wuxia Cultivation Author. Fan Gumu Book Title. Sima Yue took out the Mother Stone and smiled apologetically at Blue Blade and the others. She inserted her spirit energy into it and said, Eldest senior brother. Little junior brother, when are you coming back? Kong Junchul's lazy voice made them wonder if he was already asleep. I'll be back in a while. What's the matter? There's something I wanted to discuss with you. Since you're coming back, I'll wait for you to come back. Kong Junchul said. Oh, then I'll go back early. All right, wake me up when you come back. Kong Junchul's voice became softer and softer. Needless to say, he must have fallen asleep. Sure enough, a small voice came from inside. Kong Junchul, can't you go back to the house and sleep? You're blocking me from cleaning. Sima Yue smiled at Blue Blade and the others. Seeing that they were a little surprised, she explained, my eldest senior brother likes to sleep. I've embarrassed myself in front of you. The world is so big. There will always be people with special hobbies. It's not strange that he likes to sleep. Blue Blade said, how's your injury? Jolan asked. It's already healed. I heard from my brothers that you came back especially to see me. Thank you. You're my boss. That's right, boss. I'm going back now. Do you have any parting gift for me? For example, those little metal balls. I want to play with them. Chi Wei came in front of her and looked at her expectantly. Little metal balls? Sima Yue looked at Chi Wei in confusion. It's the small metal balls that the people from your school used in Rhinoceros Valley. Insert a bit of spirit energy into it, and it can explode. Chi Wei explained, the last time I saw the people from your school use it, it looked really cool. Can you help me get a few to play with? You're talking about that little metal ball. Sima Yue immediately knew what it was when she heard about the little metal ball that would explode after injecting her spirit power. That's right. Over the past few days, we've been looking around the shops here, but we haven't seen any of those little metal balls. Blue Blade said that they were probably developed by your academy, and they haven't been sold outside yet. I'm about to leave, so I can only look for you, Chi Wei said with a chuckle. Seeing that Sima Yue did not speak, the excitement on his face faded a little. He said, could this be the secret weapon of your academy that you can't reveal to outsiders? Sima Yue saw the bitter expression on his face because of her guess and laughed out loud. It's not a secret weapon. It's just something that Fatty developed for fun. Since you like it, I'll give you some. She took out a few and handed them to Chi Wei, who happily put them away. Thank you, boss. Sima Yue thought that since she had already given a few to Chi Wei, she should give some to the others as well. Hence, she took out a dozen more and gave a few to each of them. Fatty is lazy. I don't have a lot of these on me, so don't complain. When Blue Blade and the others saw that Chi Wei wanted the small metal ball, they also wanted it. However, they were not as direct as Chi Wei, so they were too embarrassed to ask. Now that Yue was giving it to them, they did not hesitate and accepted the small metal ball with thanks. Boss, was this really developed by Fatty? Chi Wei asked curiously. That's right. Fatty is the only one in the world who knows how to make this. It's his exclusive product, Sima Yue said. When she heard Chi Wei talk about the power of Fatty's small balls on that day, she saw the expressions of Xian Ming Lang and the others. She guessed that part of the reason they came here was because of this. However, they were not bad people. Giving them some of these wouldn't be a big deal. It could even help Fatty advertise, so why not? All right, little brother, we should go, one of Chi Wei's brothers urged. Chi Wei made an O sound, then looked at Sima Yue. Boss, I'll go back first. Remember to find me when you reach the central regions. Don't forget about me, or I'll be sad. Sima Yue saw the reluctance in Chi Wei's eyes. She took out 2 J bottles and said, these things are for you. What is this? Chi Wei opened the lid. A thick pill smell wafted out. What a thick pill smell. Boss, these pills must be very valuable, right? It's all right, Sima Yue said. Keep it. Who knows, you might be able to use it to save your life. Chi Wei put the things away and heavily patted Yue's shoulder. Boss, you're so good to me. I'm so touched. Chi Wei's other brother was the practical type. Seeing that he was still hesitating, he took out a boundary breaker talisman and opened a spatial passage. Let's go. Chi Wei saw that the spatial passage was open and knew that he could not delay any longer. He said goodbye and left with his 2 brothers. Sima Yue saw that the spatial passage was closed and the powerful aura in the room finally dissipated. Chi Wei's family should be very powerful. His 2 elder brothers have such a strong aura. She sighed. Blue Blade nodded. It's a powerful family in the central regions. Sima Yue chatted with them for a while and heard them talk about the new powers in Bright Red Mountain Peak. Then, she bid farewell and returned to the academy. Blue Blade and the others saw her situation and obtained the information they wanted. They left Tianfu City the next day. Sima Yue rushed back that night because she was thinking about something she forgot to disguise herself. Thus, when she arrived at the inner courtyard, she was surrounded by students who were still walking around outside. Fortunately, at this time, most people were either cultivating or resting, so there weren't many students outside. After a few words, she quickly slipped away and hid in the parting garden. Those students followed her to the parting garden. After seeing her enter, they left unwillingly. Sima Yue stood in the parting garden. She patted her chest and let out a long sigh of relief. These guys are too crazy. They don't look like seniors at all. That's because you don't look like a new student either. Su Xiao appeared in front of her and smiled at her. Sai, it seems like I have to be more careful the next time I go out. At least wait until this situation is over. Sima Yue said. All right, where's eldest senior brother? He's sleeping in his room. Su Xiao said. I don't know why he's looking for me. Sima Yue said. Then I'll wait until he wakes up tomorrow. She would apply for leave tomorrow. He said that we'll go look for him when you're back. Let's go. Sima Yue saw Su Xiao's expression. It seemed like he didn't know what was going on either. When they went upstairs, they knocked on Han Miaoshuang's door. She quickly opened the door and came out. She followed them to Kong Junchul's room. All right, youngest junior brother is here. Kong Junchul, tell me your plans. Han Miaoshuang grabbed a chair and sat down. Sima Yue looked at her and then looked at Kong Junchul. What was it that he had to wait for her to come back before he could say it? Your arrival is the greatest support for us. If you like it, then introduce more friends. Chapter 794. Kong Junchul lazily sat up from the bed and took a pillow. He leaned against the wall behind him and moved his body. After he was comfortable, he said, Today, Director Mao called me over to talk about the Rock Mountain Club. Sima Yue was not surprised. Shuirong's incident had killed so many students, it was impossible to hide it. Moreover, judging from CO Yuan's appearance, the things that had happened inside were definitely not small. It was not something that they could handle on their own. The only thing they could do was to inform the Academy and let them deal with it. However, she was a little surprised that the Academy would tell Kong Junchul about this. Could it be that they accidentally stumbled into a mausoleum and everyone who went in died, leaving only CO Yuan who desperately ran out? Sima Yue said. You guessed right, Kong Junchul said. Then how did CO Yuan get out? Sima Yue asked. As far as I know, there should be a very ancient array in the tomb. Su Yuan said that they didn't enter the formation. Because there were people inside, they stopped in their tracks. However, they were still affected by the array formation and 7 or 8 people died. Because Su Yuan was at the back, she ran faster. It must be those people behind them who helped them stall for time. She's lucky. Sima Yue sighed. If not, why are they looking for you? Su Yuan said that she saw some creatures that she had never seen before. They looked very ancient. She was worried that something was wrong, so she wanted to send someone to take a look. So they want us to go? Sima Yue blinked. It's not us, it's you. Kong Junchul looked at Yue. But since you're going, we have to go too. So it's right for us to go. Looking for me? You want me to go? Sima Yue was really shocked. Are you kidding me? How could the Academy let little junior brother go? That's too dangerous. Su Xiao was surprised. If we let junior brother go, wouldn't we be putting him in danger? Han Miaoshuang disagreed. I haven't even finished, and you've already said so much, Kong Junchul said. Who told you to pant for so long? Su Xiao complained. Hurry up and tell me what happened. Han Miaoshuang urged. The Academy is preparing to send people over. Because they know of the existence of the array, they went to look for the 2 people guarding the array. However, the 2 of them said that since ancient creatures had appeared, perhaps the array formation inside was also relatively ancient. So they want Yue to go with them, Kong Junchul said. Big Wei and Little Wei? Han Miaoshuang raised her eyebrows. It's them, Kong Junchul said. Junior brother knows arrays? Su Xiao looked at Sima Yue in surprise. Of course she knows how to set up formations. Kong Junchul looked at her. If you don't know how could you know how to enter our courtyard from start? Weren't we the ones who brought her in the first time? She knew how to do it herself. She just didn't want to show off in front of you, so she followed you in. Su Xiaoxiao slapped her thigh and said excitedly, "That's right. At that time, I was wondering how Junior Brother could grasp the steps so quickly." "Junior Brother, you're teasing me." Junior Brother didn't want to scare you, Han Miao Shuang said. After that, she wanted to verify it. "Isn't that right, Junior Brother?" I didn't think that Junior Brother was actually an array master. Su Xiaoxiao thought of her perfect alchemy skills and sighed. Actually, the two of you didn't notice. Didn't Master mention it last time, that the array formation was set up by Junior Brother? Kong Junchul said. If the two of you thought more, you wouldn't be so surprised today. Su Xiaoxiao and Han Miao Shuang thought about it and agreed. Then Junior Brother wants to go with them? Yes. Kong Junchul nodded. I already agreed. How could you agree? How dangerous is it for Junior Brother to go out? There's so many people outside who want to kill him. If they know that he went out, then... Xiao, are you stupid? Did you forget that Master said that Junior Brother was in disguise? No one would know that it was him. As long as he didn't use that move, no one would recognize him. Han Miao Shuang said. That's true. Su Xiaoxiao smiled. I'm not worried about that. Han Miao Shuang said. I'm worried about the danger of this matter. Since the sect asked Big Wei and Little Wei to go together, it means that the situation there is very dangerous. Will Junior Brother be in trouble? There will definitely be danger. That's why they want us to go together. Kong Junchul said. It's my first time going out with Junior Brother. I'm a little excited. Han Miao Shuang clapped her hands and looked at Sima Yue. What are you excited about? Fun things always happen when he goes out. Who knows, it might be the same this time. Han Miao Shuang said. Sima Yue looked at them and settled the matter with their words. You haven't asked for my opinion. Han Miao Shuang walked over and hugged her shoulder. Junior Brother, you can't reject us. We have to protect you. Or do you not want to go? Sima Yue shook her head. I came back tonight because I wanted to ask for leave from the sect. Where are you going? Violet Water Swamp. You plan to go alone? My friends came to find me. They said that their people were trapped in the tomb and wanted me to help take a look. Then we can go together. Did the sect say when we're leaving? If possible, tomorrow morning. Then I'll let them know. I'll also let Instructor Mao know. The next morning, they set off. Sima Yue didn't go with Kong Sangyi and the others. She only asked them to meet at Jialing City near the Violet Water Swamp. Heavenly Sect was led by Fan Lei, Big Wei, Little Wei, and a few other teachers. Sima Yue found that she didn't know many of these teachers. They shouldn't be the teachers who usually taught students. Other than these teachers, the rest were Sima Yue and her three senior siblings, Shui Rong and Shu Yuan. Fan Lei directly broke through the passage. When they came out of the void, they were already outside Jialing City. Yue, Shimin Feng, and Kong Sengyi, who had been waiting outside the city, called out when they saw Sima Yue coming out. Sima Yue waved for them to come over. Then she briefly introduced them to each other. Xiangyi, where are the people in your valley? She asked. They're in the Violet Water Swamp. Dean Fan, since that's the case, let's go to the Violet Water Swamp earlier. Sima Yue saw that Kong Sangyi was a little anxious. She knew that he was worried about Jing Wan and the others and wanted to go earlier. Fan Lei also wanted to confirm the situation there. He nodded. Then let's go and take a look. Chapter 795. Since CO Yuan said that they had seen people down there, it should be Jing Wan and the others. Crazy Wife. Divine Doctor 5th Miss Chapter 795. Therefore, both parties had the same destination, Violet Water Swamp. Because this place was filled with violet plants, it made the swamp look like violet water, hence the name Violet Water Swamp. The place they were going wasn't very far from Jialing City. The group flew for more than a day before arriving at their destination. The Violet Water Swamp was not particularly large, only covering a radius of 1,000,000 miles. However, there was a long mountain range behind her that stretched as far as the eye could see. People who wanted to gain experience liked to go to the back of the mountain range, where there were many opportunities and treasures. However, Very few people dare to come to Violet Water Swamp because there were always many unknown dangers. They dismounted from their flying beasts, and the Kong Valley's people immediately came forward to welcome them. Mississippi, how are Jingwen and the others? Kong Sengyi asked. Not long ago, they sent out another message saying that they can't hold on any longer. There are many strange creatures outside their protective circle. If they still can't break the formation, I'm afraid they will. Yue. Kong Sengyi looked at Sima Yue. Sima Yue nodded and said, I'll try my best. With the two teachers around, the chances of success should be higher. I need to check with the teachers first. Yes. Sima Yue patted her shoulder and turned to look for Big Wei and Little Wei. Shimin Feng said, Don't worry. Nothing will happen to the disciples of the valley. She didn't say no directly, which means she still has some confidence. I believe her too. Sima Yue came to the Wei and the others and bowed to them. Yue, do you see anything? Big Wei asked. While I was in the sky just now, I observed the terrain here. This place looks like an ordinary basin swamp, but if you look at it together with a mountain range in the distance, this place has excellent feng shui. Unfortunately, too much time has passed, and the feng shui here has changed. Sima Yue said, What kind of terrain is this? How did it change? A teacher asked. Looking at the entire mountain range, the horizontal and vertical direction, it looks like a soaring dragon. And this basin is like the dragon's pearl. Sima Yue explained, The Dragon Ball is the source of the giant dragon's power, so it is the best place to bury the tomb. Unfortunately, this place used to be scorching hot and dry. Because too much time had passed, this place had become swamp. When fire turns to water, the feng shui will naturally change. Is the water Dragon Ball not good? The teacher asked. Of course not. Sima Yue pointed at the mountain range in the distance and said, Because that's a fire dragon. The fire spirit pearl has turned into a water spirit pearl. Do you think this place is good? Although the teacher didn't know much about feng shui, he knew that fire and water were incompatible. Then how do you know it's a fire dragon? Su Xiaoxiao asked. It's too profound to explain. I'll tell you when I have time, Sima Yue said. This place of great fortune has become a place of great calamity. Naturally, some things that shouldn't exist will grow. Is what she said true? Fan Lei looked at Dewey and asked. Dewey looked at Sima Yue with satisfaction. This brat was really out of his expectations. Her knowledge was indeed extraordinary, and seeing that she was so familiar with feng shui, he guessed that she wasn't just an array master. Among all the major professions, Seeker Spirit Masters were the most knowledgeable about feng shui. Thinking of this, he looked at Sima Yue with a deeper gaze. Then what do we do now? Fan Lei asked. We still have to take a look. Dewei said, Big brother, there should be a drainage array here. Little Wei said, But we don't know who tampered with it. So you're saying that someone purposely created such a place of great calamity? Han Miao Shuang asked. It's only possible. Dewei said, No matter if there's really something below, this place isn't suitable for a tomb. Little Wei said, Big brother, let's find the drainage array first. The two of them flew into the air to observe and deduce. The others could only wait below. Little junior brother, why aren't you coming along? To find an array in such a big place, I don't have enough experience. Sima Yue said, Aren't you very good at arrays? Han Miao Shuang asked. Senior sister, I'm just more familiar with some arrays. But I'm only good at small-scale arrays. For a large-scale array like this, I can't deduce it. Sima Yue said, If this array is only a few hundred meters, I can do it. Is this a specialization? Han Miao Shuang said, Just like us alchemists, we have our own specialties. Something like that. They waited for half a day, but Dewei and Little Wei were still frowning. It seemed like there wasn't any progress. Yue, come over for a while. Dewei waved at Sima Yue. Sima Yue walked over. Yue, come and take a look. What's wrong with this array? We can't deduce it together. Dewei said, Come and see where the problem is. This array is really old. It looks quite old. Sima Yue squatted down and fiddled with the array stones that they had deduced. The three of them discussed. Little junior brother looks so handsome when he's serious. Han Miao Shuang exclaimed. It was a pity that she was a girl. Otherwise, she would have chased her. It's really handsome. Su Xiao turned his head and said, "Right, eldest senior brother?" Kong Junchul leaned on Su Xiao's shoulder and fell asleep. "It's really." Han Miao Shuang poked him speechlessly. As expected, there was no reaction. Xiao, come here." She pulled Xiao away. Kong Junchul, who lost his support, didn't fall to the ground. He maintained his position. When the surrounding teachers and Kong Valley members saw him like this, they all started laughing. Han Miao Shuang touched her forehead and felt that she had done something wrong. She stuffed Xiao back. Kong Junchul felt something rubbing against him and rubbed against him again. He continued to sleep on Xiao's body. Sima Yue looked up and saw this scene. She couldn't help but smirk. He was such a sleepy person, but he followed her to this place. And Su Xiao's patient look, wasn't it because the environment here was too bad? But he still came and stood there. He didn't leave and even grumbled. If this was the parting garden, he would have gone berserk. Her heart felt warm. What if this line was drawn like this? Xiao Wei's words pulled her back to reality. She looked down and saw that Xiao Wei had already changed the array a little. But it was still not right. He was about to change the part back when he was stopped by Sima Yue. Wait a minute. Sima Yue picked up the other two array stones and placed them on the ground. De Wei and Xiao Wei's eyes lit up. Chapter 796. That's it, Little Wei exclaimed as he stared at the array formation on the ground in disbelief. The people on the other side heard his cheers and looked over. Done. Fan Lei and the others flew over. I've already completely deduced this array formation. Now we just need to see what's wrong with it. Little Wei said, "Aren't we going into the tomb? What is the use of the array on the surface?" Han Miao Shuang asked. Because the formation has lost its effectiveness, this place has become a place of great danger. If this formation is activated, even if it can't expel all the water vapor here, it can weaken the water attribute here. It'll be easier to deal with those things when we go down there, Little Wei explained. Hearing his explanation, the others finally understood. This teleportation formation wasn't complicated, and it wasn't very different from the one they were using now. Big Wei and Little Wei quickly found the source of the problem, and after clarifying the problem, they activated the formation again. Almost at the instant the array was activated, Jing Wen and the others in the mausoleum below immediately felt the pressure outside lessen. The attack power of those strange-looking things was greatly reduced. "Let's go down." Big Wei and Little Wei returned to the group and said. Once he heard that they could go down, Kong Xingyi immediately led the Kong Valley people into the swamp. "Let's go down as well." After Fan Lei and Kong Valley's people left, he said to the people from the academy. Sima Yue and the rest immediately formed a thin barrier around themselves before jumping down. Plop, plop, the muddy water was split open. Sima Yue felt as if she had passed through several hundred meters of muddy water. After breaking through the thick layer of soil, she flew for a while before seeing a huge mausoleum. There was a huge barrier above the mausoleum, enveloping the entire mausoleum. Perhaps it was because too much time had passed, but the barrier could only block the sand outside and not people. Yu and the girls passed through it with a light push. They landed on the empty ground in front of the mausoleum. The entire place was built like a courtyard. The mausoleum here looks really ancient, similar to what I read in ancient books. It seems that it has indeed been a long time. The scenery here is similar to what Su Yuan said. They should have entered from here. Han Miao Shuang said. There are powerful creatures here. Kong Junchul finally woke up and opened his eyes beside Su Xiao. He didn't wake up when Su Xiao brought him down. She didn't expect him to wake up as soon as they arrived here. There's indeed a very powerful aura. Han Miao Shuang also said, it seems like from the moment we arrived here, we've been targeted by someone. It gives me a creepy feeling. On the other hand, Sima Yue raised her head and looked at the barrier above her, saying, it seems like the moment we entered this barrier, we entered a huge formation. There's an array here? However, we don't feel the power of the array. A disciple from Akong Valley said. Because this formation is not activated. Sima Yus said, or rather, the person who destroyed the array outside back then came here to do this. There is indeed an array formation here. This array formation can prevent people from coming in from the outside. It can also trap the things inside from coming out. Dewey said, it should be that person back then who knew that something would appear after this place became a place of great danger. So he destroyed the array here. Little Wei guessed. I don't know who did this. However, no matter who it is, they don't have good intentions. Han Miao Shuang stretched out her hands and rubbed her arms as she said, however, everyone proposes, but God disposes. I didn't expect that before their plan succeeded, it would be broken by someone. Kong Sang-yi said, I think this isn't something a small force can do. Sima Yus said, the sea turns into mulberry fields over the years. Even if this place changed from a dry land to a swamp, it doesn't necessarily change the feng shui. To change the feng shui here, even if it doesn't take hundreds of thousands of years, it would at least take tens of thousands of years. An ordinary force might not be able to hold on for so long. Everyone agreed with her opinion. This was definitely not done by an ordinary force, but now they didn't know who did it. Yue, let's go in and take a look. Kong Xingyi was worried that the people inside wouldn't be able to hold on, so he said to Yue and led the Kong Valley people in. Not long after they went in, there were sounds of fighting and fluctuations of spirit energy. Let's go in and take a look, Fan Lei said to the teachers of the sect. Shuirong and Shu Yuan stayed on top of the swamp and didn't come down, so the people who came in were not weak. After they went in, many ancient-looking creatures attacked them immediately. Not far away, Kong Xingyi and the others were surrounded by those creatures and were fighting with all their might. These creatures look like creatures from ancient times. Why are there so many of them here? A teacher shouted. Kong Junshul and Han Miaoshuang were beside Sima Yue. Both of them controlled the flames and burned the creatures that pounced on them. However, after they burned one, another one would appear and its strength would increase greatly. These creatures are so strange. Han Miaoshuang said with a frown when she saw a spirit beast that looked exactly the same as the one she just killed. Sima Yue was protected in the middle and didn't have to do anything. After hearing Han Miaoshuang's words, she carefully observed those spirit beasts. Their shapes were very similar to what was described in the ancient books in the Spirit Pagoda. Some were from ancient times, some were from ancient times. They were all extinct in the modern era. Why were there so many ancient creatures here? Could it be that they could live for so long? Or could it be that they were like little golden snake and were also trapped in the spirit stone? They preserved their life signs and only came out now. She frowned and thought for a while before she denied her own idea. Without a seeker spirit master to open it, these ancient creatures wouldn't come out so easily. There wouldn't be so many of them. Moreover, even a seeker spirit emperor master wouldn't be able to find so many of them. Since these creatures didn't come out from the spirit stone, they couldn't have lived for so long. Then these were fake? Could it be an illusion array? Lil Wei also thought of it and said to Big Wei, Quick, take a look. Old Fan, cover us brothers. Big Wei said to Fan Lei, who was beside him, There's no illusion array here. Sima Yue said, Not only is there no illusion array here, there aren't any other arrays. You've seen it? I've already checked. There's no movement of an array here. Sima Yue said, Could it be that these things are really ancient creatures? A teacher said, Those old things can't live for so long. Sima Yue said as she condensed lightning attribute spirit energy and struck towards those spirit beasts. Chapter 797. The power of the lightning she condensed was not very strong, but it still gave everyone present a shock. The spirit beast that was struck by her attack instantly turned into small specks of dust before dissipating into the air. This time, no spirit beast that looked like it came out. Sima Yue took advantage of the fact that the spirit beasts and humans were still in a daze and struck down 2 more lightning bolts. 2 more spirit beasts were scattered. Those with thunder attribute. Use your thunder attribute now. Kong Sengyi shouted. There were still a few people who had thunder properties. Although their power wasn't as pure as Yoyue's, it was still effective when it hit the spirit beasts. Half of the spirit beasts that surrounded them were killed in a short while. The remaining spirit beasts, after seeing that too many of their companions had died, retreated one after another, as if they were in some kind of organization. Retreated. Those people saw the spirit beasts retreating like a tide, and they still couldn't believe it. Although I don't know why, it's good that you've retreated. When Fan Lei saw that the spirit beasts had retreated, he recalled that the first thunderbolt was struck by Sima Yue. He asked curiously, Yue, how did you know that the thunderbolt had a deterrent effect on them? I guessed, Sima Yue said. How did you guess? Fan Lei asked again. Sima Yue was speechless as she looked at this fellow who wanted to get to the bottom of things, because they are not real spiritual beasts. Not a real spirit beast. When she said that, everyone turned their attention to her and waited for her to explain. These spirit beasts all look like the ones in the ancient books. Some are from the ancient era, and some are from the immemorial era. Sima Yue said, no spirit beast can live for so long, so it's impossible for them to live until now. If they were sealed by the spirit stones and had only recently opened the seal, their strength would not be so weak. Furthermore, there wouldn't be so many spirit stones piled up in a mausoleum. This is neither the ancient mine nor the ruins of an ancient sect. That's why you guessed they were fake. That's right. But you also said that we weren't in the illusion array. Someone asked, those are not illusions. Sima Yue said, this has nothing to do with the illusion array. Then what are these? It's some chi spirits. Sima Yue said, chi spirit? What is that? This was the first time many people had heard of such a thing, and they found it very strange. They're spirit beasts that are formed from spiritual chi in certain environments. They would take on the appearance of the spirit beast they were in at that time and possess their skills. It's just that it's not as strong as the real deal. Big Wei said, this mausoleum is isolated by a barrier. The inside is not connected to the outside. Therefore, when the environment here changed, these chi spirits were formed. Little Wei explained, no wonder they are so weak. So that's why. Have these chi spirits always been so weak? No. The more time passed, the stronger they would become. If they are beaten, they will absorb our spirit energy and form an even more powerful chi spirit. Big Wei said, that's right. I just realized that when we kill some, more powerful ones will appear. Han Miaoshuang said, these are so weak. It should be because they haven't been formed for a long time. If we encounter those that have been formed for a long time, it won't be so easy to deal with them. But if spirit energy is nourishing for the chi spirit, why can lightning attribute do it? Actually, fire can do it too. It's just that normal flames are useless. Unless it's a famous deviant flame. Sima Yue explained, these chi spirits belong to the abnormal category. Lightning attribute has lightning punishment, so it's naturally possible. Ah! A scream came from the depths of the mausoleum, causing everyone's heart to jump. Young miss, it's a brother from the valley. A man beside Kong Sengyi said, let's go in and take a look. Kong Sengyi could tell that this voice belonged to someone he knew. He brought his men and rushed in. Let's go in and take a look. Fan Lei said. The people from the sect also ran in. They first passed through a long tunnel. Once they exited the tunnel, they couldn't hear anything from the outside. It was as if they entered a silent world. We're in an array today. De Wei didn't panic. He and Little Wei quickly broke the array. They seemed to be in a huge cave. There were tunnels in all directions. They didn't know where to go. Although the array was broken, they still couldn't hear Jing One and the others. It was just that it wasn't as quiet as before. I heard their voices just now. Why are they gone now? Kong Sengyi said doubtfully. We probably went in the wrong direction when we came in. Little Wei said, there are many arrays here. They're all connected to each other. Maybe we'll end up in different places after entering different arrays. Then what do we do? We don't even know where they are now. Kong Sang Yi said anxiously. Xiang Yi, don't panic. Sima Yue said, there are so many arrays here. I think they shouldn't be too far in. They should be near us. We just have to find their way. But it's so dangerous here. How do we find them? Han Miao Shuang grabbed her arm and said, don't run around. It'll be dangerous if you meet with some trap array. This is an ancient tomb. Who knows what's inside? Sima Yue saw the worry in Han Miao Shuang's eyes. She smiled and said, I won't run around. I'll get someone to help us find them. Who are you looking for? Sima Yue called out a few hundred scarlet bees. After giving them some instructions, she got them to fly towards the different tunnels. There were so many scarlet bees in the Spirit Pagoda. A few hundred of them were nothing to her. Based on this speed, she didn't know if there would be a flood of scarlet bees. Should she get the Scarlet Queen Bee to control the speed of her birth? Scarlet bees. The teachers in the sect recognized the scarlet bees. After the scarlet bees left, they all turned their attention to Sima Yue. Little junior brother, why do you have so many scarlet bees? There were a few hundred of them just now, right? Han Miao Shuang looked at Sima Yue with shining eyes. She was very excited. You have scarlet bees. Do you have scarlet honey? Yes. You do? You didn't even share some with me. Little junior brother, you're too mean. Han Miao Shuang reached out and poked her head. Haven't you eaten it before? Sima Yue grabbed her finger. Every time I barbecue meat, I put honey. Are you saying it's scarlet honey? Han Miao Shuang shouted. Yes, I only have scarlet honey. If it's not used, then what is it? I was wondering why the taste of this honey was different from the ones I ate before. I actually ate so much scarlet honey, and I didn't even know. Kong Junshul and Su Xiao were shocked too, but they wouldn't be as embarrassing as her. Chapter 798. This time, even Fan Lei, Big Wei, and Little Wei were surprised. This guy actually used scarlet honey to barbecue meat? This was too extravagant. Yue, I only know now that you're so nice. I'm so happy. Han Miao Shuang hugged Sima Yue and jumped happily. She even kissed her on the cheek. Everyone stared at the two of them with their mouths agape. How immoral. All right, aren't you embarrassed? Sima Yue wiped the saliva off her face. What's there to be embarrassed about? They were all girls. Han Miao Shuang didn't say the last sentence. Otherwise, this little girl would have smashed her head. All right, junior brother, give me a big jar later. I want to refine pills. Sima Yue said helplessly. Okay. I'll give it to you when we get back. Let's get down to business first. Yes. All right. Han Miao Shuang thought of the big jar of scarlet honey and smiled widely. Everyone else was dumbfounded. A big jar of scarlet honey was given away, just like that? This was too generous. I want one too. Su Xiao saw that Han Miao Shuang already had one. How could he not have one? Yes, one can for each of you. Sima Yue noticed that Kong Junshul was also looking at her. Good. Thank you, junior brother. Su Xiao was also happy. The eyes of the other teachers turned red. These were 3 jars of scarlet honey. He gave it away just like that. They really wanted to ask, are there any more? They wanted it too. It was a pity that they weren't close, so they couldn't ask. But if there was a chance later, he could buy some from her. Sima Yue raised a finger and interrupted Kong Sang Yi. She seemed to be listening to something. After a while, she said to Kong Sang, the scarlet bees have found Jing Wan and the others. They said that their situation is a little serious. I don't think they can hold on any longer. We have to hurry over. Then let's go. Hey, wait a minute. Sima Yue held on to Kong Sang Yi and said, there's so many arrays here and so many chi spirits. We can't just walk around. Then what should we do? Come with me. Sima Yue glanced at Fan Lei. Seeing him nod, she said to Kong Sang Yi, let's go. She entered a passageway first. Kong Sang Yi and Shimin Feng quickly followed. Han Miao Shuang and the other 2 senior siblings also entered together. The disciples of the Kong Valley had all entered, but the people of the academy remained where they were. Old Fan, are we going? Big Wei asked. Go. Since all the students of the academy have gone, it's fine for us to stay here. Old Su's 4 disciples have all gone. If we don't go, and something happens to them, Old Su will definitely be anxious with us when he comes back. Fan Lei shook his head and led the way into the passageway they went. Old Wei and Little Wei shook their heads helplessly when they thought of how Su Jin would flip out and followed in. Fan Lei, Big Wei, and Little Wei all went. The other teachers could only follow. The route they took is very strange. Big Wei followed them for a while and said they avoided all the places with arrays. It looks like they took a detour, but they actually saved a lot of energy. How did she know about these routes? The teacher behind asked. It should be the scarlet bees that investigated it just now. Are those scarlet bees that powerful? Scarlet bees are the most powerful among the spirit bees. They are experts in hiding their aura and investigating. Little Wei said, there's so many scarlet bees. It's not difficult to investigate all the passageways here. Sima Yue led them for a while. Gradually, they could hear the sounds of fighting and screams. The people of the Kong Valley were very anxious, but Yue was walking at a steady pace in front of them. They didn't dare to run to the front. When they came to a three-way junction, the sounds of fighting came from the left passageway. Sima Yue stopped at the junction and led them to the right. Yue, didn't the sounds come from the left? Kong Sengyi asked. Follow me. It won't be wrong. Sima Yue was focused on the journey. She didn't have the heart to explain to her. Fortunately, Kong Sengyi had absolute trust in her. Hearing her say that, he didn't ask any more questions and continued to follow her. Seeing this, the people of the Kong Valley had no choice but to follow. They originally thought that they would go to the wrong place. They didn't expect to see Jing Wen and the others fighting at this passageway. Quickly go and help, Kong Sengyi said to the lightning attribute spirit master. Sima Yue condensed her spirit energy faster. As soon as Kong Sengyi finished speaking, she released her spirit energy. Pa! The lightning struck the spirit beast that attacked Jing Huan. When it dissipated, its claws were less than a centimeter away from Jing Huan's heart. Jing Huan was pressed to the ground by the spirit beast. He could only watch as the sharp claws of the spirit beast approached his heart. I'm done for. When he was faced with death, his mind went blank. Only these 3 words echoed in his mind. What do you mean by recalling your life before death? Is that a lie? However, the expected death didn't come. Instead, he was struck by lightning because of the spirit beast. Hiss! He felt pain all over his body. However, it wasn't to the point where he couldn't move. Seeing another chi spirit swinging his fist and smashing it down, he quickly rolled on the ground and dodged, fighting a spirit beast in close combat. As a spirit master, you've got guts. A familiar voice came from above. He looked up and saw Sima Yue grabbing the arm of the spirit beast. Yue! He shouted in surprise. Sima Yue condensed a ball of fire and added a little bit of Qi Yan's fire. Starting from the arm, the spirit beast was burned clean. Jing Huan got up from the ground and said gratefully, "Thank you. You saved me again. Remember to reward me later." Sima Yue said with a smile. Let's hurry up and fight now. That being said, with everyone joining in, those chi spirits were quickly wiped out, and the remaining few ran away with whooshing sounds. They ran really fast. Sima Yue retracted her spirit chi and didn't continue chasing. Kong Sengyi and the others didn't continue either. Everyone turned around and asked Jingwen, "How are you guys?" Cough, cough. Jingwen's injuries were more serious. He coughed twice and said, "We're fine," but the Sima Yue followed his gaze. There were several corpses in the room. Other than 1 or 2 that were relatively intact, the rest were broken limbs. Kong Sengyi looked at the corpses and said, "They're all disciples of the valley. Collect their corpses and bring them back to the valley for burial. Jingwen, you guys eat some pills first." The people of the valley went to collect the corpses. Jingwen and the others took the pills from everyone. Yue, I didn't think we'd meet again so soon. I heard from Jing Huan that you saved them. Before I could thank you, you saved us again, Jingwen said to Sima Yue. Sima Yue didn't answer him. Instead, she looked at the passageways. They're here. Chapter 799. Everyone looked in the direction she was looking at. Soon, there was some movement there. Qi spirits are coming. Shimin Feng stood beside Kong Sangyi and said, "What is Qi Ling?" Jinghuan asked, "Why haven't they heard of it before?" "It's a special kind of creature. I don't have time to explain it to you now." Shimin Feng said, "Listening to the commotion, there are quite a few people coming this time. The Thunder Attribute Spirit Master's spirit energy is almost exhausted. It's better for us to retreat first." "But we can't get out," Big Wei said. "Master Wei, what did you say?" "When we entered here, we entered an array." Big Wei said, "Before we break the array, we can't get out." "Then what should we do?" "What else can we do? We can only go," Han Miaoshuang said. "But when our spiritual energy hits them, it will only replenish their energy. Then there's no other way." Big Wei said, "You guys go ahead and hold on for a while. We'll break the array here." "All right." Sima Yu brought the few lightning attribute spirit masters to the entrance of the tunnel and attacked the Qi spirits that were coming over. The first batch of Qi spirits were all struck to death. However, there were two spiritual masters whose thunder attribute spiritual energy had been completely depleted. "It's our turn." The two spirit masters quickly retreated, and the other two spirit masters stepped forward. They condensed their spirit power and attacked the Qi spirits. This time, the two of them lasted longer. Even so, they couldn't hold on until Big Wei and Little Wei broke the array formation. At the same time, there were movements coming from the other passageways. "Oh no, there are Qi spirits coming from other channels. What should we do? It's not like we can fight them." "Let me try." Fan Lei waved his hand, and a barrier enveloped the entire stone room. "It's useless. Ordinary barriers can only block ordinary creatures, but they can't block things like Qi spirits." Big Wei stood up and quickly went to various places in the house. He condensed his spirit energy to draw the array pattern, and then placed the last array stone under his feet. When the last array stone was placed, the array formation immediately lit up, blocking all the Qi spirits outside. Sima Yoyue's eyes lit up when she saw the Great Wei's formation. The way he set up the array formation was very strange. The array formation was simple, but the effect was very good. He only took a few breaths to finish setting up the array. This speed made her gasp in amazement. "This formation can hold them off for a while. You guys should quickly recover your spiritual energy. Once we break through this formation, we'll have a tough battle ahead of us," Big Wei said as he squatted down to continue discussing the formation with Little Wei. "But we don't have any lightning-attributed spiritual energy recovery pills right now. We usually don't prepare many of these special pills." Someone said, "The wind, thunder, and ice attributes were different from the other basic attributes. Generally, pills that recovered spiritual energy could be used for the 5 basic attributes, but these special attributes were useless. There were very few lightning-attributed pills that could restore spiritual energy, so most people didn't prepare many of them. Sima Yue took out some pills and gave them to those who did not have any. "Use mine first." "Thank you." After those people ate the pills, they went to the side to recover their spiritual energy. Sima Yue came to Big Wei's side and squatted down to study the array formation with them. Han Miaoshuang took out the dried meat that Yu prepared for her and ate it, while Kong Junshul leaned on Su Xiao and fell asleep. Kong Sengyi told Jing Wen and the others about the Qi spirits. Only then did they know why the more they attacked, the more powerful the spirit beasts were. It turned out that they were not ordinary spirit beasts. Knowing that other than the lightning-attributed people, the rest of them didn't have enough spiritual energy, those people were disheartened. No matter how strong they were now a burden. Sima Yue looked at the sketches that Big Wei and the others drew on the ground and felt that it was familiar. She remembered that in the book that Wu Lingyu gave her, there were some similar ones, but she couldn't remember which one it was at the moment. So she let Little Spirit flip through the pages of the Spirit Pagoda for her. Finally, when she was about to finish flipping through the entire book, she found one that was similar to this formation. It still doesn't work. Big Wei deduced the formation once and sighed. Without a complete record of the formation, we can't deduce these ancient formations. Then there's no other way. Fan Lei was at the side and said dejectedly when he heard Big Wei's words. Not really. Maybe there's another way. Little Wei looked at Sima Yue and said. Sima Yue was still in a daze and didn't notice Little Wei's gaze on her. I know how to do it. After understanding the formation, she came back to her senses and walked around the room. She pointed at an inconspicuous little bump in the corner and said, "This is the place to break the formation." Here, Big Wei looked at the bump and lowered his head to look at the formation that they deduced. Then, he continued to deduce according to the hints. "That's right. It's done," Little Wei exclaimed first. As expected, as expected. Big Wei looked at Sima Yue. This sentence had a deeper meaning. This formation is broken? Fan Lei looked at them and asked. "That's right, it's broken," Little Wei said. "We'll wait for a while before breaking the formation." Big Wei looked at those who were still recovering their spirit energy. "The formation that I set up can still hold on for a while. We'll wait for them to recover their spirit energy before breaking the formation. This way, we'll have a higher chance of escaping." "That's good too," Fan Lei said. Sima Yue looked at the few passages that were filled with spirit beasts and looked at those who were recovering their spirit energy. If they wanted to escape, it would be difficult. The others knew this too. So even if the formation was broken, they didn't look relaxed. She came in front of Su Xiao and the others and sat down, saying, "I told you not to come, but you insisted. Look at you now, you're trapped here." Han Miao Shuang finished the last bit of dried meat and took out a handkerchief to wipe her hands, saying, "Hey, junior brother, let me tell you, ever since I followed Master, this is the first time I've experienced something so dangerous. It's so exciting." "Exciting? Aren't you worried that you won't be able to escape?" Sima Yue looked at her speechlessly. "What's there to worry about?" Han Miao Shuang said, "Although the situation is dangerous, there's no anxiety or worry in your eyes. If you're not afraid, why should I be?" Sima Yue looked at her calm face and was silent for a while before saying, "Thank you for your trust. You really trust me more than I trust myself." "That's true." Han Miao Shuang looked at her interspatial ring for a while and didn't find anything she wanted to eat, saying, "Junior brother, do you still have spirit fruits?" Sima Yue took out a spirit fruit and handed it to her. She couldn't help but sigh in her heart. She was really a carefree person, but she didn't completely believe that they weren't worried because of her. They definitely had their own methods. Chapter 800. As time passed, De Wei's array became more and more unstable under the attack of the Qi spirits and was on the verge of collapsing. Fortunately, the pills that Sima Yue gave to the spirit masters were very good. During this period of time, almost everyone had recovered their spirit energy. "It's about time." De Wei stood up and said to everyone, "Let's follow the plan that we just discussed." Fan Lei said. While they were waiting, Fan Lei and Kong Sangyi discussed their strategy and decided that one side would lead the way while the other would stay behind to deal with the aftermath. "I'll walk at the back," Sima Yue said. The Qi spirits in front would get lesser and lesser, while the ones at the back would get more and more. So the people at the back would be under more pressure. "Yue, you should walk in front." Kong Sangyi was worried about Sima Yue and said yes. "Yeah, and with you leading the way, we won't walk into dangerous places. De Wei and Little Wei teacher are in front. There shouldn't be a problem." Sima Yue said, "Principal Fan should be more clear about my lightning." Fan Lei knew what Sima Yue meant. Since she could trigger the heavenly tribulation, her lightning was definitely not ordinary lightning. "All right, then you walk at the back," Fan Lei said. "Then we'll walk at the back too," Kong Junchul said. You guys walk at the back." Fan Lei wanted to say that they would be a burden if they walked at the back, but Kong Junchul shot out a flame and hit him back. Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao also shot out 2 flames. He glanced at the 3 of them and said, "Since you guys have deviant flames, then you guys walk at the back. Remember, if you can't hold on, immediately come to the front. If you guys die, your master will go crazy. Of course we know that. We're not idiots. Han Miao Shuang kept her flames and clapped her hands. If that's the case, then the rest of you will lead the way. Fan Lei instructed the others. The rest of you will be in the middle. Everyone, get ready. Teacher Big Wei, take that path. Sima Yue pointed at the leftmost path. Dewey nodded. When the formation he had set up was broken, he immediately attacked the small bump that Yue had found. Roar! Attack! The lightning-attributed soul masters immediately charged towards the tunnel that Sima Yue had mentioned. The soul beasts at the front were immediately scattered by the lightning. Go! Those spirit masters chopped as they walked, taking the lead to enter the passage. The rest went in while Sima Yue and the other three stayed behind to clean up the mess. I haven't used Deviant Flame to fight before. Now I can test its power. Han Miao Shuang clasped her hands together and chuckled. Don't laugh, let's fight. Su Xiao shot out a green flame, burning all the chi spirits that rushed up. Kong Junshul also casually shot out a flame. The flame took the shape of a lotus and flew towards the chi spirit that was flying over from another channel. Han Miao Shuang's flame turned into a red whip. With a swing of the long whip, it swept across. Sima Yue hadn't even made a move, but the three of them had already dealt with the first wave of enemies. Let's go. Han Miao Shuang pulled Sima Yue and walked into the passage. Su Xiao followed behind, and Kong Junshul brought up the rear. Sima Yue saw the flames that they had summoned and knew that she didn't have to worry. She knew it. How could these guys be so calm? They definitely had a backup plan. But she didn't expect that the three of them would have deviant flames. Seeing that the three of them didn't reveal anything, it really surprised her. A few soul masters cleared the path in front, and Kong Junshul's deviant flame behind them. They quickly walked out. So we're not far from the exit. Jingwen sighed. It's not far from here, but there are many arrays here. If we don't avoid them, we'll walk to other places. We might even walk further and further away. Little Wei explained. Since we're out, let's go out quickly. A teacher said. They didn't understand the situation before coming down. They suffered a little. Now there were only a few lightning attribute soul masters. If the chi spirits chased after them, it would be very dangerous. At this time, Sima Yue and the other three came out. Let's go back to the land first. Fan Lei saw them come out and said. Everyone condensed a protective layer and flew up. Sima Yue followed behind. After thinking for a while, she threw out a flame before flying up. Kong Junshul and Han Miao Shuang saw what she did and threw a flame back. Let's go. The four of them were the last to go out. The chi spirits wanted to chase after them, but were blocked by the spirit barrier. Before they could fly back, they were engulfed by the flames. Little Birdie turned into a big birdie and flew in from the entrance. It brought along two other flames and started to sweep through the tomb. The chi spirits that chased after them were all burned up. Shui Rong and Su Yuan were waiting on the swamp. Seeing that they didn't come out for a long time, the two of them were very anxious. Rong, do you think the dean and the others will be okay? Su Yuan's complexion wasn't very good. Although the poison in her body was cured, she didn't fully recover. Probably not. Shui Rong wasn't sure herself. They went down for too long, but the two of them didn't have a choice. If something really happened, they could only go back to get help. Pooh dash! The sound of the muddy water splashing attracted their attention. A figure came out of the muddy water. It's the Academy's teachers. Su Yuan shouted in surprise. That's great. They're fine. Shui Rong heaved a sigh of relief. If the Academy's teachers were fine, then the others should be fine too. Soon, the people below came up. Dean. Shui Rong and the others went up. They saw that none of them were seriously injured. Only some of their clothes were torn and stained with blood. There were also some people that they didn't see before. They should be the people they want to save this time. Let's go back to the city first. Fan Lei said. Dean, then we don't care about the things below? Will they come out to harm people? A teacher said. Chi spirits can only move around in tombs. They can't come out. Dewei said. And we've already reactivated the array outside. The feng shui here will return to how it was before. When the time comes, the cheese spirits will naturally disappear. The teachers were relieved when they heard that. They didn't say anything else. Since they wouldn't come out to harm people, their academy didn't need to care too much. As for whether or not people would go down, it wasn't within their scope of concern. Sima Yue and Kong Junshul looked at the sky. They didn't mention that they set the fire. Let's go back first. I still have some things to ask you. Fan Lei said to Shui Rong and Kong Yi. Kong Sing Yi also ordered the Kong Valley's people to return to the city. The group of people sat on their flying beasts and left. Not long after they left, a few people came out of the swamp and looked in the direction they left. They weren't far from Fan Lei, but even he didn't notice anyone hiding in the swamp. Tip: press the enter key to return to the book list. Press key to return to the previous page. Press key to return to the next page. Crazy Wife. 5th Miss Divine Doctor, please remember our address. Download Crazy Wife. 5th Miss Divine Doctor, please go to that you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.